What it do, everybody? You like that? Snuck that little bit up on you. Did you watch that yet?
That was dope. I did not know that was happening. That was dope as shit.
Yeah, man. Little thing I've been working on.
I dig it.
So many things to take this shit out. But anyway, y'all, welcome to the Film Cave, episode number 63. It's your boy Knight.
What's up, everybody? Logan here. This is gonna be a fun one. I really am excited. Finally, we get to publicly speak on this movie, which that is it's a tough place to be when you see a movie and it's like, we gotta wait a little bit.
Right.
That's really, really difficult. But here we are.
Especially
the wait
that
is
early.
over. Yeah. The wait is over. We get to finally speak on everything that is the Batman. And I'm happy to be here. Very happy to be here.
Yes, likewise. We thank you guys for whoever's watching live, playback, whatever form, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever the hell you're watching this. We appreciate you. All of them. We're everywhere. We appreciate the love and the support. If you like the show, if you like the conversation, the banter, whatever it be, the interaction, the community, all of it, the easiest way, simplest way, and most importantly, the cheapest way to give that support and let that love be known is to hit that subscribe button. Simple.
Yep.
It's easy.
John's link is in my bio right now, or in my little description area. If you are not subbed
Likewise.
to John, hit the motherfucker up, man. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, hit the motherfucker up. I appreciate it so dearly. So dearly. All right, so we have a lot to talk about. It's going to be strictly this. The Batman all day. Nothing
Correct.
drops, nothing crazy drops.
Smart, by the way, from other companies.
Yes, very, very smart. So it's pure, unadulterated Batman. I don't even know if we necessarily have a structure to this. It's a long ass movie, so we're not going to
That's
go by
correct.
like, hey. Just talk. That's really
Yeah.
about it. That is really about it. So again, if you have not seen the Batman, I don't know what you're doing. Some people I know have not yet. That's like wowzers, crazy.
Crazy.
But here's your chance to get the fuck on, but then come back. Let's see what we have to say about it.
That's correct.
Because you might like it or you might hate it. Who knows? Anywho.
Okay, never mind. You were frozen for a little bit, but you're good now.
Oh yeah, I'm getting the Wi-Fi signal in the
great.
corner. All right, I'm like, great. I rebooted and everything.
That's okay. It'll be back.
It's all right. Anywho, let's say you. Shall we get into it, good sir?
I'm so excited. Let's do it.
I'm very excited. And please feel free, as we are talking, the live chat
Yeah.
is for your discretion. Go crazy.
This is where, I actually think I'm going to be looking into the chat, and, if somebody drops something that I want, this is where, this is everyone. This is spoiler spectacular, if you want to say. Just let it fly.
Let
Because
your freak flag fly.
this is the day.
This is the day. So, look, we got Kenny, we got everybody. And as the show goes on, people keep coming in and builds up a little bit.
Of course.
So hopefully, we'll be good. All right, good sir. Let's do the damn thing. The Batman! It dropped. I have seen it twice. Now, I know you have seen it more than I. And we both, gave our non-spoiler. If you saw, if you haven't,
Correct.
go check that out. Where we had our moment to just gosh over and we love it. Yeah, this, yeah, man, really good. We loved it. So now we're about to dive deep and go into it, man, because we both loved it. Yes,
Yeah.
we did. This has people, of course, on the internet, all divisive.
Oh my
and
gosh.
this and that.
Everything.
Is it this? Is it that? I liked it. I didn't like it. This, Ben, that, everything has been going crazy, set in the world of Storm. So start off with you, man. Lead us into this world of fray. Lead us.
I mean, okay. So, yeah. So I've seen it 3 times, planning to see it a 4th time this weekend. And I really this is such a different movie than what I'm used to nerding out about. And it was
Yes,
funny
it is.
because, so my cousin, 18-year-old cousin, he's the shit. He's awesome. And he's obsessed as well. And it was funny
Right.
because he he saw it and he was like, it's not, it's not this big giant thing. And I was like, no, it's much more of an artsy feel. And it was funny because I was like, this is literally the Prisoners of comic book movies. Like, it's not about big, massive things. It's about but it's about emotion. It's not about, like, the spectacle has nothing to do with it. It's about the writing, performances, and the emotion involved. And, even in something like Prisoners, I don't remember what city, like what little town that's in off the top of my head, but,
I don't either.
It's some tiny town. And
I don't either.
That in that movie, the town is almost a character. It's cold, dry, unless it's raining. Like, it's
Both
that kind of
Paul Dano, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like it's weird. Obviously, it's no fucking Gotham, but like it's also not a Batman movie. But it's just this is an artsy movie. The performances are phenomenal from everyone. Paul Dano's Riddler is nothing like I expected, and everything that I'm glad that it is. And yeah, man, the Batman is
what is supposed to be? Like, Jesus Christ.
He's just like, like
freaking the fuck out.
Weird, but like I love it to death at the same time. Like, and that's the thing is, do I think that this movie is perfect? No, I don't. No. I do think in a lot of ways it is masterful filmmaking. But
I will say.
It's just there are little things that aren't perfect for me, but this is definitely one. Every time I watch it, I enjoy it more, I see more, and I've seen it 3 times, and I had like 2 or 3 days where I was like, all right, I think I'm good. And then that bitch started creeping back in, and I was like, I gotta go see this thing again. And thankfully my cousin was like, hey, it's spring break this week, and he was like, I'm coming back, to the hometown to take his little brother, and he's like, you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and make that trip, and get back to that theater. So hopefully I've got the time and everything, but yeah, man, when it comes to spoilers of this movie, it's weird because you can almost talk about it without spoilers and everything be okay. But once you can dive into things, all the deaths, all the specifics on, the different riddles, things like that, that's where you really start to, like, you can work your way through the whole movie and just realize it's a long one, which I do think is somewhat of a negative.
I still don't feel it.
But that's the thing is, I don't feel it either, but it's still a thing where I can't pick anything necessarily to cut out that would take up much stuff. There's one little scene, which we'll talk about, with our boy that likes to laugh. And that one could have been cut.
It was longer.
And yeah, there was another scene earlier in the movie with them. But besides that, the only other time, if I just want to jump into like one thing, I was like, this is something that could be cut technically, but it adds so much without doing much. And all it is the scene where Bruce, after Alfred gets hurt, goes back home to the tower and decides to open up his parents' bedroom that has a lock on it. And he just walks in and looks. And you see that he never allowed himself to get past what happened, even though it's been 30 years or 20 years, it's crazy. But I was like, this could technically be cut, but it adds so much to me in a way to where, because that's the whole thing. Is this guy's crazy. This guy's absolutely crazy. He dresses up as a fucking bat and goes around and fights people to help the city. He has mental issues.
His parents, right?
And you see that, like, yeah, he never allowed himself to move on. And even Matt Reeves, I've been watching all these fucking podcasts because for some reason Matt Reeves is like, yeah, let's do spoiler podcast week of it coming out, and I'm like, thank God. And he talked about how in a lot of ways emotionally, trauma when he was 11, he is stunted at that age, where that's where he's at mentally in some emotional ways. And you can see it because he's a fucking Batman. Like,
I mean, even in the beginning of the movie, like we was talking to Alfred, you can see it's like this is very juvenile, like responses, like attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
you're not my father.
No, you're not my dad. I'm like,
and,
Jesus Christ.
And granted, I do like that because he just saw him in the mayor's kid, and that teleported him right back to all the trauma.
Yeah.
And just that is one of those times where
even Alfred realized that, and I loved it.
Yeah. I'm sure I think I said this last week, but couldn't do spoilers. But like, I'm sure there were takes. They said, let's do long take, let's do short take. And like that staring at the kid scene where, he's staring at him for a good 10 seconds. And then Gordon's like, we really got to go, man. And he stares longer, like another 5-6 seconds probably. And then he turns. That probably at one point was in total 9 seconds in one take that they did. And they said, no, go the longer take. And you feel it.
That's so one thing I absolutely loved in this movie was what Robert was able to do with his eyes in this movie.
Unbelievable.
Like a lot. I was like, holy shit. Like, without saying the word, just eyeballs, just like, like I see every fucking thing that he's thinking of feeling through his eyes right now. What he wants to do, what he's going to do, how he's feeling. Like, I remember when in the beginning of the movie, when the whole crime scene, just fucking eyeballs everywhere. I was like, oh my God, like I'm with this man. Like the first minute, the cop was like, whoa. The motherfucker was like,
and
what?
Just like, the shot, like that shot of him walking in and the cop stopping him. But like, I've never seen a live action Batman shot like that, where he's walking around surrounded by people, just lit up, and he's just like it. And it's that thing of like in an intimate setting where a couple of those cops could look at each other and be like, now, and just go for the cowl, try to rip that fucker off. And he's like, I'm just walking around, I'm just doing what I think is my job. I'm here to help. And but yeah, I'd love to hear what's your immediate thoughts as we're in this spoiler talk before we start going through everything. What jumps out at you?
We couldn't talk about in detail we did before. It's like still every time it comes back to the opening to me. Like the opening is just so goddamn amazing. Yeah. It's like literally him setting up. We getting that inner dialogue. I guess
the voiceover that we get.
The monologue, right, for him, and his voiceover. Like, Halloween and everybody's out and I can't be all at once and I must pick my targets. Care like everything. And like there's like they think I'm hiding in the shadows, and then fucking crescendo fucking Batman music and I am the shadows. I'm like, this is fucking beautiful. Like without saying anything, just look at the shadows. Yeah. That's it. People are like, oh shit, I don't know. Shit, we gotta go.
The fear, the fear
like,
from
we
just
gotta fucking
darkness.
Go. Now, I will say this: the second time I saw it, it didn't add anything. It didn't take anything away. It was kind of just stagnant for me. I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay,
this is what it is. But it's kind of what was I gonna say? Someone today on Twitter was like, hey, this movie is just like so incredibly dark. It can tells you how to do Daredevil right now. It doesn't do rated R, all the other shit. Me personally, I don't think this movie is necessarily dark in its tone. I think it's dark in its visual, if that makes sense. Like it gives us visually like, okay, this is dark. This is what we should be feeling. Here it is. But in terms of like dark, I'm not like, oh shit, that's like crossing the line or that's like bordering the line or whatever. It was like none of those scenarios to were enough to be like, okay, this is proving a point and how to do dark whatever the fuck. I didn't get that from this film. It's not a knock.
No, there's only a few times where I was like, I'm kind of like, I did have a few times where I'm like, I'm proud that they were allowed to do this. And one being Riddler actually killing the guy and you get to watch it all, him bashing the guy's head in. It's nice. Not a ton of blood, but he's bashing the guy's head in.
Well, off screen, and then, there's no fucking dent on a bashing with a little rod.
And then dead corpse in the trunk. I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking corpse. Like, and that's the thing is this weekend, like I'm taking my 11-year-old cousin, and his older brother was like, I think he's good to see this, and like had to kind of think about it for a little while. Severed thumb, just hanging around. obviously nothing. It's
Yeah,
not
I'll
R.
take that.
It's not R-rated. That's the thing. Is I don't want a
Right.
Batman movie that's R-rated whatsoever.
Right.
And I
I
don't
don't
really
think
need.
it pushed the line anywhere. If
No,
that
yeah,
makes
no.
sense.
But I
I'm
don't
like,
know if anybody's really saying that. But if they are, I mean, good for them. But I think it's the
Maybe.
noir aspect. It's
Yeah.
dark. You know, I mean, in every way imaginable, in terms of visuals, it is a dark noir detective.
See, and that's what I'm saying. In terms
Yeah.
of visually, like we're being told and
Right.
shown, like, okay, this is dark. But
Right.
tonally, I'm not like, oh, I'm feeling like, oh, this is really dark. Like, I have moments,
Yeah.
but I'm not like, oh,
Drugs,
this.
bunch of drugs.
Right. I'm not like, this is paving the way for fucking other things or whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Kenya brought this up too, and I really agree. That motherfucker's footsteps that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. Anytime they do that, it's just like his little Western boot clicking every time he fucking walks. Just like, doom, doom, like, holy shit. It's intimidating, and it's works very fucking well.
It's that thing. The first time, I'll be honest, like that opening scene, the first time I heard it, I wasn't that big of a fan because I was like, it's not stealthy. But then and then I'm like, that's the fucking point.
Right.
I'm like, he wants them. He doesn't actually want to beat the shit out of those guys at the beginning. He wants them to hear this, look into the shadows. Some run, then he walks out. The rest run, and he saves the guy. None of them run. One of them talks some shit and comes at him with a giant machete or whatever that was.
Right.
And he's fucking vengeance, bitch. Like, he's gonna beat the shit out of all you. And I also love how they get some licks in on him. Like, you really get to feel that he's not...
Quite a few fight scenes I do.
Yeah, like, he's not fully fledged, you know, Batman that has a bunch of miles on him that figures all this stuff out. No, like the scene when he bursts into the Iceberg Lounge and just strutting. I mean, he has a walk on him, man. Like, he's just like, what's up, bitch? Say something. Somebody say something.
His walk sometimes I was like, bruh, all right, got it.
That's the thing is, Bruce Wayne doesn't know how to walk into a club. He doesn't do it. And so it's like, he's just going.
Even when he was walking away from Alfred, he was like,
exactly.
Backhand regular. I'm like, dude, loosen up.
I think that goes to what you were saying, where it's kind of teenager-ish in a lot of ways. But he goes into that club. We all know there's a lot of people working at these kind of clubs that as soon as one fight breaks out, if you're hitting an employee, you're getting swarmed. And it's almost like he doesn't know that.
Right.
Or he's like, I could fuck him up. And they beat the shit out of him in a lot of ways. And he has to be elusive and jump railings and do this and do that. And eventually somebody points a gun at his head.
Right.
And he gets lucky. You know what I mean? That's kind of the point, because he's not afraid to die. He's just like, oh shit. I'll try to throw this bat.
That's it.
I got this bat. Maybe he'll miss.
Yeah.
And he does. And it's fucking awesome.
It is great. And I just love the interaction. Open the door. Like, you need to get out of here. Or fucking, you want to get blood over that little pretty suit. It's like, mine or yours. I was like, oh shit. I was like, hey.
Because, you said this last week, and I do want to point out one thing I noticed, and it took the third viewing to confirm it, because I was like, oh my God, did I see that in the second one? But I wanted to confirm. So you talked about the mirroring of the 3 times he goes to the Iceberg Lounge.
Right.
Phenomenal. You know, first time, he's Batman. Do you know who I am? Just standoffish. And they're like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Yes, we know who you are. Second time, it's Bruce Wayne. Do you know who I am? And they're like, oh my God, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, come on in. We'll take you straight to the main guy that no one's supposed to be able to talk to, because you are Bruce fucking Wayne. Here's the elevator. Head on down. And they don't even call anybody ahead to let them know. And then, but third time, he's like, I'm not fucking with these people. I'm sneaking in. You know, I'm just going to fake them out. But the whole thing is he's going to get the rat. He's supposed to bring him in the light. And the light ends up being that light pole outside that he looks up at. When he knocks and they open the door and he's not there, that light is just flickering like crazy, like saying, look at me. This is where you need to be looking. This is the light that I've been talking about. And I fucking love that. And even if you go all the way back to the beginning, and the first time he's at the Iceberg Lounge and meets Catwoman, and she takes off, go to get a taxi to go get Danica. Riddler's up in the fucking window taking pictures.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's all there. And Kenya pointed this out for me too. Every building on that block, the signs are red except for Riddler's, and it's a green hotel sign. And I'm like, you bastards. I'm like, I just fucking love so much, because like, you're not gonna like, that's not gonna stand out to you the first time. You're not gonna be like, oh, he's in there. You have no way of knowing he's in there, you know. But
Yeah.
once you get to the end, and you're just like, oh, all the little details of just, it's just so nice, man. So
It's
nice.
really fucking good. So yeah, Jesus, there's so much to cover with
It's such
this,
a
man.
massive movie. Do you want to just okay? First thing, Something in the Way.
Oh,
So fucking good.
opening and tail end. Yes, really
I
good.
mean, like literally, like the opening when.
Vengeance won't change anything. They're the past. There's
Yeah, that's yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
I have that quote. We can talk about it in a little bit. But Something in the Way, the beginning, like when it hits on that shot, because I love the shots that we get of like POV shots that we get in this movie. And for some reason, I just love the shot of behind him on the motorcycle, right when that, you know, Something in the Way just hits,
yeah.
and it's just him driving, and it's just like, it's just so fucking great. And that song now, like I've been seeing so many memes of like, I'm pissed off driving, and then they just add that song, and it's like, man, fuck this, like I hate this place or something, you know. And
That's something I will say about this fucking movie though. Ever since I saw it, I just been feeling like a badass motherfucker just walking around, just like,
because you're walking New York street.
Facts. Like playing the music, like in my head, like I'm just fucking.
Okay, hold on.
Like I'm listening to my boots when they hit the ground and shit. Like it's fucking. I'm going in.
Yeah. Okay. So I gotta show you this. My cousin earlier today, because he did say this, and I was like, this is where he's geeking out, and I love it. You know, obviously, I love to see it. But he told me a few days ago, he's like, I'm dying for it to rain here, just so that I could have that vibe of the movie. And I was like, okay, you know, like a little weird, but like, yeah, but that's the thing is, Texas, it rained all over Texas today. So even though he's an hour and a half away, it rained. And he texted me today and said, because you know he's in college and he has a bike that sometimes he has to ride to get to class. And he said, I'm pretty sure I texted you the other day. I looked forward to the rain after seeing Batman. Complete regret. And I said, I was like laughing. I said, not a fun day. He said, today is the only day out of every 2 weeks that I have to ride my bike to make it to class. And it just so happens that the whole time it's raining and it's 40 degrees. And he's like, absolutely miserable. And I said, I just replied, underneath the bridge with like ... And he said, man, but you know, I was blasting that song in my headphones as I was riding. And I'm like, yeah, just go, just embrace the suck. Like, just because that is what this movie, like, Gotham sucks.
It does.
And you feel it. It's a character.
Such a character. Yeah, it's such a character in this. And Robert does such a good job just embodying all of it. And when it comes down to Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz,
oh my God,
absolutely
I love her.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And her storyline didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel like it was just thrown into the mix of everything. Everything connected. Going to find her, you know, trying to find her estranged lover, who, you know, Falcone just murdered, fucking merciful, like just out of the blue.
Yeah,
strangled her to fucking death. And I love the lines. You clearly see the moral divide between the two, her and Batman, as the story goes along. Love their chemistry together.
So good.
And her much, come on, vengeance. Let's do it. I'm like, oh, go ahead, girl. Get you on.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was only twice that they mentioned Batman's name in the film. They all called him Vengeance all throughout the shit. I know we was questioning how many times they did. Her fighting style was great, handling her own. I like the addition of Falcone being her father.
Yeah.
That was a really cool addition. Obviously, that's not her backstory, but it worked for the story they were trying to tell.
I agree.
And that smooth motherfucker, Falcone, dear
Oh
lord.
my god, man! Turturro killed that shit. Was not expecting him whatsoever to be that creepy, or for Falcone to be that big of a character or important. I guess I should say. I thought Penguin was going to be much bigger in terms of if I'm going for the mob, area of this movie. But no, it's Falcone the whole way.
Yeah.
But so now that I can talk about spoilers, that's one thing I said last week too that I couldn't go into detail on at all. But
Right.
what I love so much about this movie is it's 3 hours, about nothing really you can cut, because even though that's the size of the story they're telling, and really. But what I love is any character in this movie that could get like a character poster is obviously physically invested because they're they're in the movie, but they are also massively emotionally invested. So you start with Gordon, the mayor. The mayor dies. His old partner, the commissioner, dies.
Mm-hmm.
He's emotionally invested to stop this guy.
Yeah.
Then you obviously get Catwoman. It's her father. Falcone's her father. It's her lover. It's all that. It's massively part of her emotion.
Mm.
You get even Penguin in a lot of ways. It's his people. It's his world. It's everything that he has for his money. Emotionally, he's invested. And then obviously you get to Batman, and not only is Batman emotionally invested because he's getting written to, getting called out, things like that, but it's also Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Massively invested, where his people are getting hurt. His family's legacy is getting called out.
Yep.
I mean, every single facet, and it's just so like it's how you tell a story that's riveting to an audience. Is there is not a second of this movie that is not important emotionally as well as
thought out.
Yeah, I mean, it's so damn good.
It's a beautifully woven web where all things just interconnect so smoothly. And it's like one of my favorite moments is, and I said this briefly in the was a moment between Bruce and Alfred. So after Alfred fucking almost gets blown to hell by the Riddler, first of all, Bruce was rude as fuck because Alfred immediately wake up. It's like, oh, I'm alive. Motherfucker, you lied to me.
Lied to me,
like, what? Can I open my eyes? It's like, damn, you fucker. It's funny because every time when all the audience laughs, every time the moment happens, because it's fucked up. It's hilarious.
Really? They laugh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
because it's like he's waking up from like, holy shit, I'm living.
He smiles at him
like, you lied to me.
Yeah.
People are like, what the fuck?
And you just know, like, Alfred be like, oh fuck, what happened, man?
Right. I was out for how long? Jesus. But basically talking about it, and basically like, my father hired Falcone to kill this reporter. How can you not tell me this? I fought for him for years, and he wasn't who I thought he was. And Alfred had to realize, I was like, listen, he made a mistake. Yes, he did, but he didn't know what the fuck Falcone was gonna do. Like, when he found out, like, he threatened them, trying to change it, all the other shit, but it just wouldn't happen. And we still don't know, have a clear cut who killed his parents. They obviously finger pointed towards Falcone, based off what Alfred said, but even he was like, I don't know. But I love the conversation because it finally gives us it gives Bruce a whole new perspective. It opens up, it lets the audience into something different, and something that they really haven't explored so much thoroughly in previous films. Sure. It was like, listen, I don't give a fuck what happens to me or anything like that. Like, the only fear I fear is losing those close to me. And I've never opened myself up to whoever, even Alfred, that completely just standoff little teen, like, fuck you. But it took almost losing him to be like, bro, I don't want to feel shit like that again.
That's I loved so much about that is he's like, I thought I never had to feel that again.
Right.
So it's almost like he didn't even realize how important Alfred was to him this whole time until he realizes the one guy I've got. Because that's the thing too, is when he first gets hurt and he's standing outside the room and she's like, is there any other family next of kin that I can call? And he's like, nope, just me. Yeah. And it's like, damn, like they're all each other has. And then Dory over there, which she was sweet. But I guess she don't get the love apparently.
Right. No.
But yeah, no, I mean it's so well
I could teach you how
done.
to fight, but I couldn't teach you that. I was like, oh, go ahead, Alfred.
Fight. Yeah, he said it. He did say that, so interesting. But one other thing I love, like if we're just gonna ramble, obviously, to
Yeah.
get, because that's what's so weird about this movie is there's no like moment, like it doesn't have the snap or like, oh, the fight, the Doctor Strange versus Thanos fight, or you know,
Right.
things like that, or you know, the entrance.
It's
you
a
know,
very
that's-
contained movie.
yeah.
And because here's what I'll say, and I'll probably get flack for this.
Okay.
And this even more so when I watched it the second time. The third act, like the final, like the climax, is really not that thrilling. Like, oh my god, crazy.
Correct.
Like,
No,
it's
yeah,
just like
for sure.
it's lackluster if you want to
If that's
throw
what you're
that word
going
to
for.
compare. Right. It's just kind of like, it's very much so just a calm, like this was happening, Thoroland, boom, redemption time. It's not like spectacle, big, grand Batman
Yeah.
finale. It's just kind of like, it's like, oh,
I mean,
okay.
I will admit, it reminds me a lot of the Dark Knight third act when it comes to like that third act doesn't thrill me very much with he's got lit up eyes and can see with sonar and he's just fighting goons, you know, really. And so it reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah.
Where because that's the point is that's not the story they're telling. You know,
Right.
they're just they obviously have to do a big action sequence there at the climax, but like because that's one thing that I've heard a lot of people say too is how
Yeah.
the third act has two endings, is what a lot of people say. And I see what they are talking about, and
I
it's
can see that.
when he stops Selena from killing Falcone,
Yeah.
and you have those the incredible sequences of him hiding in the elevator and walking down the hallway, and he's only lit by the muzzle flashes. It's
All
fucking
practical,
dope,
right?
and which is insane. I would love to see behind the scenes of that shit. But I completely get that whenever he's sitting there holding her and wrestling her for that gun, and he's saying, you know, I think he says like, she's like, he has to pay, and he's like, yeah,
Oh,
he
you've
has to pay,
paid
but you've
enough.
paid enough.
Yeah.
And like
love
it's
that
it's a
line.
beautiful scene.
Oh.
And then you
And the
have
music.
this,
Oh.
yeah, and then you have this slow walkout where he's walking Falcone out, and you're like, this is the end of the movie. Lackluster ending.
Right.
If this is the end, but this is the end, and it makes sense.
Yes,
And
we
then
don't
you
all work for you.
and then you realize, oh, the fucking Riddler is not done.
Yeah.
And so like that was my thing is so I have it written down here where
I
saving
felt that
Selena
too.
from killing Falcone feels like the end of the movie, but they haven't caught Riddler yet. It's the end of Selena's arc, but
Yeah.
Bruce's still has miles to go.
I remember
and-
I thought that same thing the second time I watched. I was like, bro, we haven't even got to Riddler yet.
Yeah, he's
Like, the
still
second, I was like,
not
wow.
imprisoned. He's about to
Right.
snipe this motherfucker, and he's
Yep.
been right there.
Right.
We've been to this location 3 times
Chilling,
now.
eating
and he's
ramen
been-
and shit.
Yeah. He's just hanging out up there, just building mannequins and doing weird
breathing all
shit.
heavy and shit. Like Jesus.
Putting saran wrap on his head and all that shit.
Everything. Like he was.
but-
that betrayal.
Yeah, crazy. But so the one thing that like I love so much about this movie is when, or like the steps leading up to Bruce Wayne being the next victim. And you obviously have the awesome car chase, and which is
We'll get to
fucking
that too.
dope, and highly recommend. There's a podcast that just came out today, and it's on Dolby's.
Dolby.
I just finished that like an hour ago, probably an hour and a half ago, and it's all about sound. The whole thing is about sound. So it's Matt Reeves, G Kino, and then like 4 sound guys.
Mm.
But the guy that made the initial Batmobile sound, where it's just "Meow," and like this crazy fucking sound, and he talks about how he actually created that from a 1-second clip of a bottle rocket going off, just pew, and like that's all it was.
Oh.
And he's like, I couldn't do anything with that. It's a second long, but he talks it through about how he eventually was able to create using that sound. He made it from 1 second to 30, and then and he was like, it's this really cool thing, because he was like, I was scrolling through sounds and heard that, and I couldn't get that out of my head, even though it was completely unusable for what I needed it for. And he's like, but I eventually just went back and worked on it. So really cool conversations. I loved it. But so going back, so you obviously they're going after Penguin because they think he's the rat with wings. And they go through the whole chase.
You don't know the
difference between law. And it's fucking incredible. This movie is
amazing.
This movie's hilarious in moments. Like that's what I love.
And
like,
mostly coming from fucking Penguin. Like he's great.
But what I love so much is you go from that. So you have rat with wings, which we now know that means Falcone. It's Falcon with wings, whatever.
Right.
But they go for Penguin.
Has wings too.
And he opens up the laptop, goes to URL ratalada.com and talks to him a little bit. And he's like, "Is a penguin a rat with wings?" And he's like, "Interesting." He's like, "You're not seeing the big picture. My next victim will help with that." And then gives him a thing, and it's about being an orphan. And so they go to the orphanage.
I'm a mansion in the slums or something like that.
And that's one thing. Reading that book that I read, Riddler burned that bitch down.
Yeah.
I like that they don't even touch on. They have no idea who burned that place down. And
so
you're going after the guy. What you got?
I liked that whole build up and leading to them actually seeing each other. So Bruce Wayne is a target. He's fucking shitting himself. He's like, "Oh shit, what does he know? Okay, what's this? What do we do?"
Correct. Yeah.
Goes to the orphanage, sees literally everything there. Thomas Wayne and all back at the apartment. Like you literally see him as a kid with looking at Bruce and them in the orphanage and circling. "I know who you are." Yada yada yada. So we're just sitting here thinking, "Oh shit, he knows he's a fucking Batman." And remember, we thought that right in the fucking trailer too. It's like, do we think it's him or do we know? Right, because literally all he keeps saying, like he's speaking with such assurance, like, motherfucker, I know it's you. Like he just out of nowhere, like the minute that veil fucking, comes up, whatever, "I know you'd come, Bruce." Like he keeps just seeing the fucking shit. Yeah. And he's not saying a word. He's all in the eyes, just sitting there like, fuck.
Yeah, right? What am I gonna do? I'm looking at that camera shit.
Right.
Oh my god, he's like, "Fuck me. How am I gonna get out of this?"
Like, what the fuck? And then the last one again, I love this, like Bruce Wayne. We almost had him. I was like, whoa.
The one we didn't get, or
the
whatever.
One we didn't get, and then he just fucking.
He's like
he just switched.
"You're a fucking psycho, bitch."
You're gonna die alone. Like, no, what are you talking about?
Like he goes straight.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god!
Like I like how you saw the relief from Robert's face when it happens, but I'm surprised Riddler didn't catch up on that because I would have been like,
so
bitch.
A lot of people are saying that. Does he know now?
Because it's just like you were just the stoic thing for whatever reason. I guess you just fucking tense. And minute I say that, it's like we didn't get him right. Now you want to be like, "Oh,
now you want to wake up?
Here we go. Come." I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what you do that for? Wait a minute. Like I would have caught on to that.
Yeah, you're completely right. And I just one real quick. So Kenya just wrote "No more lies" in the chat there. And I just hung out with him this past weekend, and he was telling me how he has like a 4-year-old cousin that's been coming over, and for some reason Kenya is obsessed with Riddler's line reading where he just says "no more lies," like he just says it like on FaceTime, and so Kenya has like a big like bellowing deep voice when he wants to. And so he's just been obsessed with saying that. He can't stop saying it. And now his cousin is saying it. His like 4-year-old cousin is like, "No more lies." And like, he's like adding weird inflections, like "no more lies." And like, he's like, I'm dying laughing. Like he's like, and he sent me a video of it and all that. It was hilarious.
It's hilarious because Dano has a very, very unique approach to this character.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I said, it's all in the inflictions. Like he's all over the place with it. Like sometimes it's not like he's fucking ass mad, because sometimes he's like, I'm just fucking the darkest being that there is, and he does it all within a sentence.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, holy shit, like you are deranged. And it's like, if you are justice, please do not lie.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, what is the price for your blind eye?
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god. And that scene. We did not get a new bat suit. It did not get blown to hell like we thought. Because he took that shit to the face like a champ and was like, all right. I'm like, oh shit. Um, got it. Which that scene was intense and great.
Oh my god,
Between the
suspense.
three,
Yeah.
it's like you don't get to do that
And-
after what you've done. I
Oh
was
my
like, holy
god,
fuck.
so fucking good. And then, but I love how Riddler's like, yes, like he's like, okay, he's like, next riddle, like he's like
Yeah.
wasting time, and the guy's like, come on.
What? I was like, hurry the fuck up, man.
God damn. But okay,
Fuck.
so going back to what I was saying, so I love how it goes. Penguin, and he's like, no. Orphan, go to the orphanage. Bruce Wayne victim video. And he's immediately gone. Batman dips. Gordon's like, the fuck? Damn, bro. And then, obviously Alfred happens, everything. But then straight up video, Riddler said, the next one will make it clear. Show you the big picture. And the video is the Waynes, the Arkhams, and Martha was in and out of Arkham Asylum, and because of blah, blah, blah. And Falcone. Yeah, and it was so Riddler for that video, by the way.
It was.
But
Very much
the
so.
video, my point basically is I love how Riddler makes it abundantly clear to Batman, Falcone is the rat. But because of the scenario of Bruce Wayne being the victim, Alfred getting injured, all that, it completely goes over his head.
Yeah.
He goes to the hospital. They tell him to go home. He starts spray painting the floor, trying to figure out who the rat is, going through the renewal stuff. It is right there. He just told you. He told you he was going to tell you, and he told you, and it never clicks until he's sitting there with Selina and Kinsey, the cop, and they have to question him, and Kinsey gives it away.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because it's like, if Bruce Wayne wasn't Batman, Batman would have immediately went and been able to go pick up Falcone, because it's quite obvious once you actually look at the evidence of what he is telling you. And I just love how that's what I'm talking about, where I say
He's so invested in this shit.
it's so personal
Yeah.
and so emotional to both Bruce Wayne as a character and Batman as a character separately, to where it's right over his fucking head because it got personal for him. And
Yep.
he never thought that would happen. And it's just like, it's so beautifully done, where, because obviously in the moment, we're not immediately going, oh, Falcon, it's Falcone. But once you see it, and it's like, it's so obvious in a lot of ways. Because they even think from Penguin, they're like, oh, it's a bat, and then it's like, oh, wait, no.
Wings, but something like a freaking bat.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you are hell. But yeah, so that's one part where I just love that Riddler handed it to you on a silver platter, said it's Falcone. And there's part of me that's like, I'm surprised Riddler didn't say, what took you so long? I've been waiting in that window all day. Like, I gave it to you 24 hours ago. Where have you been? And but in reality, it's
crazy.
been dealing with Alfred in the hospital and having emotional shit happen. And I love that so much, to where they were able to take a massive comic book movie and make it so personal and emotional, and I just fucking appreciate it so much.
You're really not as smart as I thought you were.
Yeah,
I have to give you too much credit. I was like, oh my god, dude.
I do like that too, how at first,
Excuse me.
because that's the thing too, is Batman starts to realize, whenever he gets in Riddler's apartment, he's like, oh fuck, he knows who I am. And he's like, he's been writing to me that whole time for a reason. In reality, it's because Riddler's been thinking they're working together.
And I loved that little whole approach to that.
Yeah.
He's like, what? He's like, yeah, we did this together, like you and me. Like,
He's like,
I couldn't do that.
You're
like,
a psychopath.
That gave me straight up Dark Knight. Like when he did that, when he was
He's
talking
like,
to Bane, psychopath. I was like, oh god. Did he get Bale to do a voiceover real quick?
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, yeah, man. It's like, I'm not physical. Like all my strength is up here. Like you brought him into the light. Like I couldn't do that. Like makes such a good. He's like, no. I was like, oh my god, he's
that's the thing though, is I love how he snaps.
He's snapping.
And then he comes back and he's like, what's black and blue and dead all over? Yeah. Like he gets right back. He's like,
you can stop what's coming.
yeah, he's like, obviously we are on a team. He's like, go back out there and you can die too, and what's coming. Basically, because he's like, we were supposed to be safe up here. You know, and it's like that's the whole point. He wanted to get arrested because he wanted to be up high from the floods. And like, oh, it's just that's so fucking dope.
It's like, now you can get there with the rest of them. Fucking just drowned.
And that's what I like too, is it makes so much sense for why Riddler thinks they're working together, because he thinks Batman's not showing up until he's found what's under that carpet, which is everything and the video. So he's thinking Batman is not going to save anyone, not going to, what is it, Gotham Square Garden, which is a little on the nose, you know, but he decided to come talk to me instead of go there and stop those guys. So he's like, we're obviously on the same team here. And in reality, he hasn't found that clue yet. And he's like, oh, you're not as smart as I thought you were. And he's like, you better get the fuck back up there, you know, basically. And he's like, and fuck you.
It's not over, homie. Right,
yeah.
It's not over.
I love it so much.
Oh, right there. It's like, yep. And
and he realizes he's like, oh my God, I missed something blatant, you know?
Yep. And if it wasn't for fucking Carpenter Boy over there.
It's a tucker.
It's a tucker. You know, he just do it. He's like, fuck. All right, thanks, dude. He just fucking starts covering that shit up.
Yeah.
So I will say this about the chase scene.
Okay.
Watching it again, it's not the most amazing thing in the world.
Correct.
Because the first time I was like, oh my God, this is great. Mainly because the fucking sound, like we said.
Oh my God, sound design.
Pulls you in. And that's what makes it seem a lot more epic than it is, because it truly immerses you. Nothing really is happening. It's just like, okay,
correct.
But God damn, that sound, dude. Like,
so good.
The minute that shit revs up in the fucking alley, he's like, I'm gonna give y'all 2 seconds. Are y'all moving? Okay, cool. Like, just gonna fucking go up a little bit. Are y'all moving?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me just rev this bitch up real quick. And everyone's like, oh shit, let's go. All right, fuck it.
Right.
Like, the Batmobile was dope. Like, it sounded really fucking cool. It was intimidating. You hear that bitch coming from 20 miles away. It's like, cool, he's on his way. We
jet engine on there. Yeah.
Facts. I'm surprised the shit didn't fly at some point. Well, I guess it did, but not by itself.
That ramp. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay, what else? So
so on that point, I do want to say, so it's kind of funny. So I've seen it 3 times. After the 3rd time, I told this to Kenya in the parking lot, and I'm not big on car chases. Like, I don't care that much.
I love them.
And so I told him, like, the first 2 times I saw it, like, I told, like, there was a girl that was going to see the movie, and she's like, I don't really see these movies, but basically she said her best friend passed away, like, within the past year. Her friend was massively nerdy and into these movies, and so she said her and her friends are going to go see the Batman because their best friend that passed would have wanted to, and so they all decided they were going to go. And long story short, they fucking loved it, which is awesome, because they're not into him at all. But she said, she's like, it's 3 hours almost. She's like, I can barely make a comedy without having to get up and go pee, like a short movie. And I was like, oh God. And so I thought about it for a while, and I told her, I said, if you have to go pee, as soon as you hear a jet engine light up, run, because you won't miss anything, really. And like, I'm just not big on car chases. The 3rd time I saw it was when I could stop looking at it and start listening. And the sound design is what really stood out to me. I'm still not a big, car chase person, but the sound design there sells me on it. And even in that Dolby thing, they talk about it a lot. And one thing Matt Reeves says is, he's like, initially when he was asked to do this, he's like, I want to do something completely different. And he's like, I'll still have, a big fight at the end, and I'll have a car chase in the middle. I'll hit all those little dots, but everything else is going to be very different to what you want. And they were like, okay. And so it's weird that, like, it's Batmobile, you have to have a car chase. And I kind of felt that. Yeah. But also I have never really enjoyed a car chase, really. Like, and that's what, like, if I ever am comparing something to The Dark Knight, it's the Joker I care about in that car chase sequence, when he's got the bazooka hanging out the side of that, like, 18-wheeler and all that. Like, it's fucking incredible because of him. Like, he is making me invested in other people. They're ducking and dodging everybody until the 18-wheelers. And so it's like, it's different, but the sound design in that one is fucking incredible. And what I also love is they kind of they were talking about the initial light up of the Batmobile and how, he obviously could have just started the car and took off.
Right.
And they're like, but that's not the point. The point is Catwoman's got to get shot up. And so he actually lights it up in that way to scare the shit out of Penguin and make him go, what the hell is that in the shadows? And that all that time gives Catwoman time to get away.
Right.
And then it's Rev like, get the fuck in the car, Penguin. I got to get you by yourself. Right. And it's so dope. And that is where the story, I'm going through the car sequence and I'm like, I could be running and going pee right now, and that's okay. Right. But it does get me from A to B to where the whole point was initially save Catwoman, distract them so she can get away. I need Penguin by himself.
Because Penguin was playing chicken for a little bit too, which I love. Like he was sitting there trying to muster it up and shit. But that last roar, he was like, all right, fuck it. I got
He's like, in the car.
Like, get the money. It's like, well, fuck. I was like, I'm out of here.
I love it.
Yeah, it was really damn good. I love the ending. Batman realizing what he had to do and become.
Mm-hmm.
The little sacrificial baptism of fucking, electrocuting and all that shit. Reemerging as a new and all that shit. I got it. It was cool.
What about that slow motion face when he decides?
Yeah, that's on top of it. Yeah, it was.
That's a little weird.
It was weird, and it was very. You could see the CGI on it too. I was like, why are we CG'd here? But sure. But yeah, no, the weird face was funny because like all the slow mo and
it's like, okay, bro.
I was like, got it. Okay.
I was like, literally, when I saw it, I was like, that's the take they chose for that. I was like, that's an interesting one. But I get it. A ton of raw emotion, in that moment.
He's about to take 50 billion volts from a fucking thing.
Yeah.
So like, okay, cool. And then you riz up a whole new dude and all that stuff. But I liked him literally like coming and chauffeuring everybody through the water with like the flare and then.
And the little boy's the first one to trust him.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Because the mayor's sitting there, I was like, all right, bitch, fine, drown.
I know.
Come on, let's
go.
The
yeah. Because that was the thing too, is I'm like, you're shot, bitch. Like,
right.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's just
that water's dirty.
Right, being prideful just got you shot. So I need you to figure out, you can sit there and drown, or you can be smart like this kid. Because I ain't got the time for it.
Because like I've never been to New York. That will change in May. But like I do know the reputation, and more than likely what the inspiration for the water around Gotham is. You probably don't want the Hudson River's water in a gunshot wound.
Not at all.
That's gonna fucking give you some shit.
Like your fucking whatever side that bullet hole is on will just fucking rot off.
Yeah, like you might want to get out.
Toxic Avenger, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm like, Jesus. But no, I love that. And then of course we get to the moment where he realized he does not need to be vengeance anymore. Like these people need hope. And I love how they capped it off with the woman like not wanting to let him go, like afraid, and like, which I loved. And like I love his reaction to that because he's like, oh shit, like okay, like
realizing it's not about fear. Yeah,
right. Like it's about hope. I'm surprised people were like, but Batman's all about fear and vengeance. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a thing not too long.
I do have the quote here. Thankfully, somebody tweeted out, and I'll just read it. It says, "Vengeance won't change the past, mine or anyone else's. I have to become more. People need hope. To know someone's out there for them. The city's angry, scarred like me. Our scars can destroy us even after the physical wounds have healed." And it's funny because I go back to when they released the theme, his theme, and you're like, Downton Abbey part, I'm not a big fan.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm holding out hope that is to show him become Hope at one point. And thank God that's like exactly what's happening. I'm like, okay.
Even though we didn't get it then, we got fucking
right
Nirvana.
But you have like when he shows up to the funeral, that part's kind of playing.
I love that.
Oh my God, it's so
goddamn
good. And
I love it.
I really, really appreciate what the movie did there at the end with the loading the woman. Like, you get massive 9/11 vibes, or like Hurricane Katrina vibes, to where some, like, a first responder coming and picking some people up and load them up. Like, those people are going to look at them as angels in a lot of ways, and they're looking at a guy dressed in all black with a weird ass helmet on as an angel.
And broad ass
to them.
daylight.
Yeah.
Like, I got you.
And which, that's the thing too. Did they use the volume like what Mandalorian? I think they did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And you can massively tell with the
Especially
lighting
on
on
the
them. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
him and Catwoman with a sign and all that shit.
Yeah.
The signal.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. But yeah, I really like, first time I saw it, it happened when, like, she wouldn't let go of him for a second. And as I slowly went away from that scene, I just kept thinking about that, and it made me tear up, because I was like, that is what, like, he figured it out. Like, he doesn't necessarily know how to yet, but he knows what he needs to be for these people. And it's just a really beautiful thing. And, you know, it is like, people are comparing it back and forth to other movies, whatever. Like, there are certain things about Batman that have to be Batman, and that is one that they eventually need to learn. And but I like the question of, he knows that, how is he going to bring that to fruition? Because it could also become a thing about bringing that Bruce Wayne persona up, donating, doing this, like going back to the funeral scene with what the mayor-to-be at that time was talking about. Like, I don't see you doing much, and, you know, in reality, he's dressing up trying to stop crime. But she's like, let's get your money involved here. Let's help out the community. And I think both of those things could kind of click, and, you know, become more. So I really, really like him carrying her in that whole scene is one of my favorite.
That was beautifully shot.
Batman scenes ever.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It's very, very beautifully shot. And you feel the weight of everything.
Yeah.
That rebuilding process is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens. I think this is also where Wayne comes in.
Sure.
And it's like, because Alfred challenged him a few times throughout the film. He's like, listen, you're still a fucking Wayne, dude. And he's like, well, you're a Wayne? Which I love that little.
I love that, man. When he's like, your father gave him to me, bitch. Like, yeah, I am.
Right.
I'm supposed to be part of y'all's family. Like, they thought of me as that.
I love that he didn't take no shit. He's like, I don't want your cufflinks.
He's like, hold this so I can put this on, you fucking dipshit.
Right. I was like, I'll still whoop your ass. Don't act like you grab.
Exactly.
I was like, don't get cute.
Yeah.
Don't let this cage fool you, motherfucker. Yeah, I just love their dynamic, and I'm very curious to see where that goes going forward. Because it's a great bond. Him and Gordon. We have not talked about that enough.
Gordon is the fucking OG, man, in this movie. He's an MVP.
Gordon is amazing. Gordon is fucking Jeffrey Wright. Fucking
one of the greatest.
Killed it. Talk about the year he had. Fucking No Time to Die. This What If. Just keep it coming, bro.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
All day, man.
And I love their banter. I love how he always just calls him man. It's like, yeah, we gotta get you out of here, man. Like, come on, man.
No guns. Hey, that's your thing, man.
Right.
I wanted him to say, you're the one in bulletproof shit, man. I need this to protect myself.
And just them trying to figure out the riddles together. Thumb drive. It's like, oh, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah. One thing I love is because obviously the Dark Knight trilogy's Gordon is phenomenal. But what I got with Jeffrey Wright that I liked a lot was funeral scene when the car comes in and he's dead front.
Yeah.
Like, talk about not being afraid of anything. He's dead up front, and he's like, hands up, and he's like, get him up. And like, he's got that voice. And then you go back to then later on with the Penguin, and he's like, open your eyes. And you just fucking echo through that tunnel. And he demands a presence. And he's like, and that's what I'm talking about, like emotional investment. Like, he's like, this is my fucking ex-partner. And he in the moment, he's thinking he knows who Riddler is, therefore he is an accomplice to this murder of my guy. And so he is not putting up with any shit. And it makes Penguin click and say, okay, this is serious shit. well, first thing I see is that's
Come
incorrect.
on, what are you showing me?
Yeah. Open your eyes. And he's just like staring at it. He's like, God damn, okay, I will. And then
It's
he's
like,
like,
fuck.
and he's like, okay, first thing I see is y'all don't know the difference between hell and law. And it's like,
Right.
oh shit, yeah, that's true. Like, but Penguin's like, okay, he's being serious. He really thinks this is the case. I need to be real in this moment and tell them what I'm seeing. And it's so well done to where Penguin is that character of like, come on. Like, he's seen some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's nothing to him. But
Right.
he's playing that character, and then this man demands respect. And he's like, okay, well, first thing I see is this, and it's like, damn.
Okay,
Like,
you want to play ball? Well, let me tell you where you're wrong, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's this and that. It's like, y'all got me up against this hill looking stupid. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I just love the way Batman and Gordon were playing off each other, just like finishing the sentences. Like when he was done, we'd come up, and I'm like, holy shit. I just feel like their dynamic was played out in a way in this film that other previous films have not
Right.
come across. Like Dark Knight, yeah. Like they'll clip once in a while, they're like, hey Gordon, hey Bats, yeah, cool, this happened. Cool, thanks. But this was like, no, we're in this shit
That's
together,
the thing. It's
shoulder to shoulder. And
Dark
that's how
Knight
it is.
trilogy. It's more so of it's a respect of like,
Right.
hey, we need each other. But in this one, it's they have a conversation where it's like, you're the only one I trust.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
I'm getting dirty with you, brother. Like, what's
we
up?
are a team, and this is the only guy I trust right now, and you feel that, and
Do you trust him? I trust you. Shit.
yeah,
Like,
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's so good.
It
Like,
is. That scene when they revive him, Jesus. When he's in there with all the cops.
And he fucking, I love when that's another part that I mean is Gordon is the one that's like, boom, and he's like,
Yeah.
you're doing this fucking wrong,
Right.
and it's like,
It's like how you do it. And he's like, yo, he just fucking shot the Batman, bro.
and I love once again eyes, but also we actually hear him talk, and he goes, you too,
Yeah.
and it's like, you're the only one I trust, and
Yeah.
really and truly, it's Gordon saying, we need to get you the fuck out of here. So I'm going to figure this out on the fly. And how can I get you alone and get you this, get you that? But
Right.
in the moment, Batman's sitting there going, did you just turn on me? Because I just
Right.
fought some of your guys. And there is the badass moment right before that where he's like, because the guy grabs his fucking cowl, first of all, bitch.
Right.
But then, so he starts swinging.
Because you assault an officer.
And he's like, you got me on Assault 3.
I was like, oh shit.
And
Like,
it's
he has some good one-liners in this
oh
shit.
my
I'm not gonna
god,
hold
man!
you.
So but that one right there is like, that's fucking dirty.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking do something, bitch. Like,
Right.
is literally what he's saying. Like,
He was like, try another one. I got
Yeah.
you. We can
And,
wrap this count up all day. Like,
but I love how Gordon's like, we gotta get you out of here. he's like,
notice you punched me in the face.
he's like, let's go give you some heat.
Right.
Punch me in the face.
Right. Take these keys. Go to the roof. And
Yeah.
like, what?
I do like how
Who's
First
out
of
with a
all,
broken nose.
Bruce is afraid when he gets up to the roof.
Yeah.
He's never had to do that before.
You're
But
like,
I also
"Oh,
like how
shit."
Gordon's like, I'm gonna guess you know how to get the fuck off of a roof.
Right.
Because that's your only option right now. Like, I hope you got a fucking wingsuit on that.
Right.
bitch.
I hope you
Like,
can fly, motherfucker, because that's your all the way out is up.
Yeah.
So, and it's just like, but I loved it. I love once the door closed, he led with a little punch. He's like, fucking, what you doing? It's like,
Oh
like,
my
get it
god,
together,
so
dude.
good.
He's like, you could have pulled that punch, man. I did.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up their dynamic because it really is a massive Gordon especially is just massive standout for this movie and sells so much of it because it is them two for a ton of this movie. And if that didn't work, the movie wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have.
Jeffrey Wright absolutely killed it. And Robert Pattinson, man, we haven't really talked about him too much, but like their chemistry together, top notch. I mean,
And you mentioned this before in the when shit is just going down, Gordon is just like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Let's go. Let's go.
When they find the dead body and they start getting lit up and he's like, oh shit, and puts that car in drive and gets up closer. And I'm like, holy fuck. Like, and immediately is getting lit up. and
Yeah,
like
when
having to
Batman's
take
fucking,
cover.
hey, how the fuck I get up there? It's like, tell me,
Yeah.
let's go right
Oh
now.
my god, so good, man.
It was.
And
I'm like, he's not scared of shit. Go ahead,
I
Gordon.
I know. I love it so much. And it also feels real. Like
Yeah,
that character could have been written to where it's like we want him to feel like he's always got his back and is always in the shit, but like performance plus writing plus direction is necessary for that to really sell. And it 100% is there to where he is a ride or die fucking true cop.
right.
And like,
Even when it comes to with all of them and Catwoman
Yeah.
up top on the signal, he's like, I don't know
Exactly.
what the fuck is going on, but you got my attention now. It's like,
He's
what?
like, my-
Spill it out.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Exactly.
He's like, yo, like she did this. She called me when the night they killed her, and yada yada. This is him. Like she's beating the dog shit out that man up there, up top. He's like, you didn't put the signal up? No, I thought you did.
Yeah.
Who the fuck did? Oh, shit.
And I like how Kinsey's like, Gordon, thank God. And he's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, no, I'm gonna let her hit you a few more times. Kind of
right.
thing. Oh my God, that one line when Gordon gets him alone and he says, whose broken nose over there? Or whose mustache? And
Who's
he's like,
mustache with a broken nose.
and he's like, oh, that's Kinsey narcotics. And he's like, I fought him at the club. And he's like, Kinsey's moonlighting as, a penguin, something, whatever. And he's like, no, he's moonlighting as a cop. And it's like, that's so fucking phenomenal. Like, no, he's not a fucking cop. He's pretending to be a cop. And I love that. Like that, because that is the truth to half of the GCPD.
Mhm.
And I love that, like, and then you get later on when Batman thinks that Riddler knows who he is, and he's just like, you're a good cop.
You're a good cop. I was like, what the fuck? Why you say that? What's happening?
Yeah.
And and it's like they started that off in the second Riddler murder with the commissioner. It's like, well, you almost sound like he deserved it. It's like he was a cop. He was dirty. Like, he was
Cross the line.
They crossed the line. I was like, oh shit. Well, he's like, listen, I ain't about to kill motherfuckers, but if you get clipped off because you're doing some wrong shit, I can't help you, pal.
Yeah. And I love, he's like, he's going after everybody in the Maroney case. And he's like, I worked that case. And he's like, Riddler's not going after you.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you're immediately just going to make me feel not important? Basically, he's like, why not? And he's like, you're not corrupt. Like
you're not corrupt or you're not dirty or something like that.
Yeah, you're good.
Right. And he's like, oh shit, well, okay, well, put it that way. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, let me just straighten my tie up a little bit.
Right. Absolutely. But no, so to Patterson, the man of the hour.
Sure.
Again, yes, like I said, he's my number 2. He absolutely killed it. I did not expect it or want it, but I'm here. He completely sold me. Like I said, I loved everything he did with the eyes. I like him more as Batman than I do Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, he had his moments.
Sure.
I'm like, okay, it's good, but we all know it's a different Bruce Wayne. I'm not knocking him on that. It just requires it's different. We really didn't get a lot of Bruce in this. Like it was all bats.
Yeah.
But the shit he did, like he wasn't exactly like a towering or intimidating figure. Like when you see him, just was like, holy shit, scared, shaking, like I'm about to take a shit. But he was very nuanced. He was very conflicted. He's a very broken character in Batman. You saw all of that. The times he wanted to be a badass, he did with delivery, not necessarily appearance. Because to be honest with you, he's a little fucking dude. Like he's not like huge and like he's small.
Yeah.
So it's not like, and a lot of people just don't take him automatically. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, you ain't gotta be intimidated. And I think that's the point of it all. Like his reputation or what he carries when he's there is what puts him over. Versus that. That's why it's just like, no, you got me on 3 or yours are mine. Like it's like, announce my shit. You doubting me, I'm gonna speak my shit and I'm gonna back it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Correct. Unless too many of y'all hit me.
Sometimes, unless too much. And that's what it's annoying me where people try to comparing the Batmans and this and that. And we all know how much I fucking love Ben. But this isn't a time to be like, oh, but Ben's didn't do this, but his did. It's not. They're completely two different Batmans, and
That's 100%. Two
right,
completely different time periods, you know.
right, and points in their life. Like
Yeah.
you can see sprinkled throughout this movie, he is not the Batman. He's not there yet.
Right.
He's still learning.
That's one thing too, is people say this all the time. Don't mean to interrupt. Please keep
No.
your thought. But like
No.
the idea of, oh, like people keep saying, oh, we get to see the world's greatest detective and blah blah blah, and Penguin calls him out on that. 100% incorrect.
Yeah.
They are not the world's greatest detectives. They are trying to they're trying to figure that out. And Bruce
Right.
definitely has a knack for it. I mean,
Yeah.
and you talked about that, I think, in the non-spoiler, where even just in that opening, I mean, he's finding
Beautiful.
much more shit, and knows that the thumb was cut off and the guy's still alive because he has this knowledge and this that.
Halitosis. What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And they are not the world's greatest detectives. The whole point of everything here is he has nothing figured out yet, and I love that. And so it's a thing of I can't compare actual Ben versus Rob. I can compare their writing, and
Well, yeah. That's,
you know, hate to say it, but I think Matt Reeves is a little bit better of a writer than Zach. You know, but but besides that, they are completely different. Like,
right. And they're at different stages. Like Batman is
Ben-
like, bro, I've seen everything.
yeah, Ben
I've-
literally was so much Batman that he retired and then came back. This is a
Yeah.
guy that's just started. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
'Cause,
so
like,
they're
it's-
completely
it's-
different times.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's like, yes, if Ben's Batman walked in that club, he's taking 5 dudes out at the same time. It's
But
like,
he
yeah, I'm
wouldn't have
fucking
walked in
killing
this
you.
club. He would have come down and been in the rafters and fucking yanked Penguin up
Right.
and took him somewhere. You know
Right,
what I
but
mean?
I'm saying if they would have jumped, he would have been like, all right, I got off.
Yeah.
Because like in Batman vs Superman, the whole group was attacking him at once. He's like, no, fuck you, fuck you, fuck
Yeah.
you, fuck you.
Correct.
Where like he's like, I'm struggling because
I
he's only
did
fucking here
not
too.
plan for this. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
He's like, I don't fuck goddamn. So
Yeah.
it's like so it's like people have to understand, like they're different times, like they're at different stages, and they're not the same fucking Batman. Like, who knows? Robert can be fucking Ben at the end of his 20 fucking year run. We don't know. It's like
Yeah.
they're so different.
Yeah, wildly.
And that's just what's frustrating me at this, because I'm fucking the biggest Batfleck fan that there is, but I'm not like using this
Right.
opportunity to be like, well, he wouldn't have done this, he wouldn't have done that. I hate that.
And that's the thing too, is I mean, to go, up against, if you're going to compare Robert, you got to compare him to Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a comparison. I mean, really and truly, like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not. Like, if we
'cause-
want to be real, Bale was like the weakest part of the trilogy.
no, well, and so that was one thing too, is like people are doing their rankings and whatever, and I have no desire to post a ranking of whatever, because it's still it's tough for me. But like what you were saying before, Robert is not Ben in the sense of he is not a monstrous physical specimen to like
Yeah.
truly terrify. Like that guy would not have said, "The hell are you supposed to be?" to Ben.
Yeah.
But you know who he would have said that to? Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And so would have his buddies.
Yeah.
And they would have beat his ass. Like
Yeah.
more than but Christian Bale probably would have had more gadgets and things like that to possibly help. Having Lucius and things like that already. But if you're going to compare The Dark Knight and the Batman, for me, The Dark Knight is probably a better movie,
Yeah.
and it's not because of Batman. It's
No.
because of Christopher Nolan and Heath fucking Ledger. And also, guy's name escaped me, but the guy that plays Harvey Dent is fucking incredible. What's his name?
Oh, Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart is phenomenal in that.
Well, everyone around Bale is phenomenal.
Exactly, that's what I
It's
mean. And so
phenomenal.
it's like, but I really like, because I purposely made a point to rewatch The Dark Knight a week before I saw this or whatever it was, and Heath Ledger is unfucking believable, like in
Yeah.
all of his writing, and then also if you take him out, get to the point of the two boats supposed to be choosing, stuff like that. That writing is there, and it's so good. But besides that, like in the Batman, you get very, very little scenes away from Bruce Wayne Batman. like very few.
Yeah.
And that's where this is a Batman story, and I think Nolan saw put him on the back burner. We've got A+, here, and I can make a monstrous, blockbuster, phenomenal movie around that, much more so. And so it's really like, if you're going to compare movies, that's when things get tough. But if you're going to compare Batmans, you got to compare it to Christopher Nolan's trilogy of Batman, and it's not.
That's the closest.
Question.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
because we see the first years in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, it Begins.
I mean, yeah. And don't get me started on comparing this shit to Begins, because.
And it's like, because oh my god, Bale's Batman, like his fighting was so ass. Like all he was elbows. It's like elbows. I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, what the fuck? Do you know how to lift a leg? Anything? Like you punch? Can you do it? Like tuck and roll? Something? Even to be honest, fucking Robert Pattinson, motherfucker threw one kick and it was just a forward like get off me. Like that was it. He was all fist and brawl.
correct.
And that's why I'll give the edge to Ben on that regard. Like he was the only one that had like martial arts coordinated. I'm gonna fuck your shit up.
Sure.
All like Dark Knight, if you want to call it that. And the Batman was like, no, we're just gonna brawl, like straight punches, homie. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily Batman, but in the story you tell, it works. And I didn't mind it, but I was like, okay, it's not the best Batman action I've seen, but it's still good, and it's a lot better than Dark Knight shit.
Yeah.
That I will definitely say. Let's see, what are we missing? Are we missing anything? We're like pretty much.
I know. I'm trying to think through the
Right,
monstrousness.
Well,
Well, okay, Joker.
Oh yes.
Can I just say? I want to be the first person to say.
Yes.
I don't need it at all, and I'm honestly hoping he never leaves Arkham.
There's no plans, according to Matt Reeves. It could just be PR bullshit. But he literally has no intention of bringing the Joker into a film, at least anywhere at any time. That was strictly for Easter egg cameo purposes. Because I honestly, in the grand scheme, it don't fucking need it. Like it's there, like it's cool. Like, oh yeah, it's nice. His look was cool, different. You got a little glimpse. I'm like, okay, we're going with this. I'm here for it. He had a very, junior laugh. He wasn't there to laugh, yet. Obviously, he's still finding his footing with that. Yeah, this is the origin for all of our people.
That's what's funny is I like how Matt's like, he is not the Joker. He is a serial killer that Batman was able to take him out and put him in Arkham in the first year.
Yeah.
So that should tell you, which is interesting.
Yeah. And I love that. I love the little exchange they had with the Riddler. That was cool. It was cute.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. I don't know if this fucking URL shit that's been downloading for everyone to see, if that's the scene we'll get, or we're getting something else. But the fucking Rada, whatever the hell, better come through with something. Rada, fucking some shit better come through. And if it's that scene, that's dope. I really want to see that. Because it was very Killing Joke-ish.
It should be on the Blu-ray, but I do think they might just go ahead and release it early because
in that interview, one of them, when he was talking about that one specifically, he kept saying, in the scene of which you'll see soon, or in the scene of which you should see or something. I'm like, why does it keep saying soon? Why does it keep saying like this? So I'm thinking they're just gonna like do some special shit where like release, and maybe that's what this is, or it's gotta be something else. Entirely.
That's the thing is it's either because when it's supposed to be the 10th or something. Is that what what the website is leading to?
I don't know. I didn't see all that. I'm just seeing.
Somehow there's some sort of whatever the percentage is going up per day. I think it's supposed to land on the 10th. And so what I've heard is people saying that's probably the announcement of the sequel. Probably makes sense. But I like your idea even.
I don't want that for the obvious.
I like your idea more of releasing that scene. The only thing is, I have heard Matt tell it multiple times of exactly what that scene is, and I think people are going to probably be disappointed if that's the big thing because
the scene.
Yeah, because they purposefully keep his face completely out of focus the whole time.
I think they still will be. I think
Um,
he says it that it still is for majority of
Yeah,
it.
no, that's like you do not see his face. Period. Like it is out of focus the whole time.
Yeah.
And so I think people might be like you and I wouldn't be because we understand stuff, but like certain people
Right.
are like Joker, Joker, Joker. They're gonna be like, oh, you didn't even show his fucking face still. Like, what was that all for? But I actually really like what the scene sounds like. I think it definitely should have been cut because it just wasn't necessary. The scene they kept is less necessary to cut, but still could have been, except for the fact that I do think there's a plan to possibly have, you know, all the rogues or a lot of the rogues are in Gotham, and then by the time the third movie, more than likely, if we get a fourth, great. Whenever they decide to do it, they all break out at once, and they've had time to kind of think some shit up together. And I like the idea of Joker being the brain behind getting them all together. He's the social one. Riddler's not social. You know what I mean?
Nick
Like
Fury of the rogues.
exactly. And Joker doesn't even break out with them. He just wants the chaos and wants Batman to
talk to you about the
get this
Clown
shit.
Initiative.
Because there, good God, because that's one thing I liked is what Matt was talking about with how one of the things that, you know, in the scene that was cut, they say, like, as soon as it starts, Joker says, it's almost our 1 year anniversary, isn't it? And like tells you, you know, a little less than a year ago, a very young Batman put him here, and they have a, you know, they have a history and things like that. And so like I like that he has a reason to be out for Batman, but he also might not be the one to do it. He might be the one that takes of this, takes of that, puts the team together, probably even contacts people outside to help it, but he's not the one actually doing it. Because really and truly, we've gotten massively lucky with Ledger and with fucking Joaquin Phoenix possibly doing a sequel, by the way, if people aren't remembering, with possibly Willem Dafoe coming in to be another incredible Joker. We do not need
Lose
Joker.
my shit. Would lose my shit.
Yeah, me too. Granted, I do really want to see what the fuck this makeup looks like. Strictly
really
for
cool.
the fact that it's the same guy that made the Penguin shit. And that looked incredibly good.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Motherfucker disappeared.
like, this guy has a disease that he is unable to stop smiling, and he's had it his entire life.
Which I love.
And so I like Matt talked about, that's what I love too, is Matt, like anything that he was doing, like obviously he's not going to put Joker in it without massively thinking things through. And so he was talking about how, what does it do to a human being that has grown up with this disease and this condition? He's used to the look people give him. He expects it. So what does that do to someone who has felt nothing but disgust from other people his entire life? That makes him a serial killer. That if he's smart at all, you know what I mean? So it's like, I really like that idea.
Yeah.
I just don't think I need it at all. In the grand scheme of things, I think that there's plenty of other villains.
Yeah.
I think, you know, if they do 4 movies, by the time 3, 4 comes around, if they wanted to like tease him more in 3, have him be in 4, but still not the main villain of 4.
They'll have to shoot those real close because Robert's already what, in his 30s? Mid 30s?
Oh yeah, but how old's Ben? Ben was doing it.
He only did 2.
He kept going if the movies didn't stop.
Oh, again, if WB wasn't fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
Let's
see here.
I don't know.
Look it up.
We'll see. But I think he's about 30, 34.
I think he's definitely in his 30s.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. He is 35. He'll be 36 in May.
Got you.
The day I actually go to New York will be his birthday.
Hey. I actually like the new images they just released to him today, which really fucking cool.
Oh my god, man. That version of Bruce Wayne, I just love so much for some reason. Like it's just so like I'm gonna try to probably be that for fucking Halloween.
He plays emo very well.
Yeah.
very, very well. Um, which I love. So that aspect works. When he's Bruce Wayne in the fucking makeup, here for it all goddamn
100%.
day.
Yeah.
Tickles everything in me. Time skips do it. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I'm talking about the man himself. Whether you time skip or not, he still has to be able to do what things he's doing.
Yeah, no,
But still,
yeah.
40s are still, that's still good.
I mean, Keaton's
Good
back,
shit.
so.
Don't get me started on that, please.
No, I know.
Please don't get me started on that. So yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Everything
I
has
know,
just been
I'm trying-
fucking great.
I really and
With this
truly,
man.
I'm just so incredibly happy with it. I'm so incredibly happy with the world that they've built, the obvious care that went into every single second of the movie. I mean, you really can see it, hear it, feel it on screen. I mean, 100% of the time. I know that there are some people that like, even one woman that I massively respect. She just saw it today, and all she tweeted was, "Crap, I didn't like the Batman." And do I personally go, how in the hell can you just say you didn't like it? Like,
Yeah.
what did you like? How could you not like it enough to say that? But it's not going to be for everyone, apparently, and that's okay in a lot of ways because it's obviously for most. So Warner Brothers is fine, but
I'm in the standpoint where yes, I love the film, but I can see how some wouldn't. I can see the areas in which people would be like, say what they say. So I'm not completely like, oh my god, I'm dumbfounded by this. But I can see why people wouldn't like this, why it wouldn't be their cup of tea. I guess you can say. I can see it. Within reasonable explanation.
The only thing that I really could see is like if somebody's expecting more of a Marvel type of like an MCU or like an Aquaman kind of movie, where upbeat, massive action, quips all the time, colorful things like that. Like,
I don't think they expected that because none of the movies were like that. So I don't think they were expecting that.
So that's the thing is like, I mean, if you're looking at this movie, the writing, because that's the thing too, is like, me where I'm mostly am obsessed with scripts and stories where everything gets tied up in a nice bow, like Watchmen. Every single line in that show comes around at some point, and you know what I mean. And so, like, I love that, and this is one of those movies where there's nothing that isn't done for a reason, and that's kind of the point of Riddler in general. So it's nice that they did that right. They better continue this, but I don't know how someone could have a problem with the writing, with the story, with the performances, or with the tone. Like, it might have been too much of something for someone, like if someone's like, it was kind of dreary the whole time. And I'm like, yeah, well, that was the point. So I can just, if you weren't a fan of that, that's okay. But like, quality of said thing, it's not like it was poor.
Oh yeah, no. I guess that's why I can see certain aspects. Like, I can understand if somebody didn't like it. It would have to be some real logical, reasonable things.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that makes. Got it. That's why I say now I'm just not accepting so much of people's like, oh, I don't like it. Okay, why? Like, yeah, I like to challenge.
I mean, I would love to hear someone really just explain their points of that, because like, even like, I don't know how a big Batman fan could say, oh, not a fan of this,
Bro, I was watching a review today before I came on here. It was frustrating me. Like it's one of those reviews of people just going off telling that, okay, you didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Something's not clicking in your mind, and that's okay. We have doctors for that. But
sure,
like, it's so painfully obvious of like, this, you sound really stupid. Like, it wasn't those things of like, okay, I can see this. Like, it was like, this is dumb.
Like, do you have an example of something they might they brought up?
Fuck.
It makes sense for you to try to immediately get it out of your head, but I'd just like to.
Yeah, because I'm trying to now. Cause like I said, I literally just turned off. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it was just one of those just to hate. So apparently, like, in there.
Yeah.
initial non-spoiler, they was like, oh, like I love this like detective. Like the detective stuff was cool that he was doing. Like he was doing detective stuff. Just wasn't for me. The Batman was weak. He was whack, but his detective stuff was like, okay, fine, whatever. But then in a spoiler, he was like, oh, that man ain't do no fucking detective stuff. He ain't do nothing. Like he was a detective in this movie. Like I'm going to expect detective, and the dude's like, yo, he's a detective in like half the fucking movie. Like what are you talking about? It's like, didn't you say in your review that you this and that? He was quiet. He's like, no, but it wasn't even like the thing. I was like, okay, I just can't with you. Like, that's fucking weak ass Batman. Like, he's saying he doesn't even know how to glide. He's fucking sliding through the air, doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, okay. So, this is one of those situations where you clearly didn't understand the movie you was going into. And even when you did, it was explained to you, still didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
So, this is just stupid. And I can't take any more of what you're saying.
Sure.
And it hurts. Because those aren't reasonable things. And you're contradicting yourself in the same breath. And it's like, and I knew exactly what this person was going to be like, because sometimes I click on them just to find out, because I'm cool with the person who runs it, you know.
Okay.
And he has a group of people that comes on with him, and sometimes I'm like, bro, they tend to not have opinions of their own unless it's stated by the lead dude.
Gotcha.
So it's like whatever he kind of says, they're kind of like, yeah, well, yeah. I'm like, what? Do you really think that, or are you just kind of following? A lot of the times, you're just following and saying shit out of your ass.
Right.
So I'm just like, I know him and how he thinks and what's going on, but the rest of you are just kind of like, woo. So it's one of those. I just want to say, how stupid are they going to be on this one? And I clicked, and I got my answer.
Sure.
And then of course we have, since we're talking about this, you know, the one that's been taking the world by storm with their incredible fucking racist takes on shit. Did you see that? The fucking dude, YouTuber.
I mean, I didn't watch any of it. Like, I didn't go click on it, but like I saw the clips on YouTube of him saying the most blatantly, you know, racist bullshit, basically.
Right, just dumb as fuck. Oh, the white people are fucking evil and the black people are heroes.
Because that was the thing is,
people get with this movie.
I retweeted and I said, "Welcome to the real world,
right,
bud. Any damn near any white person in power is evil. Like, welcome to America. I mean, you have to be insane to want to be a political anything. You know, like you have to want something, and they all want something personal. You know what I mean? So like, that was what was so funny, is it's like you are that stupid to where, because that's the whole thing, is like, as a white person, obviously I choose the other, you know, avenue of things, but like the whole point is, yeah, we all see that everybody's corrupt, but if I keep quiet, I can hop on that and gain from it, and you know, things like that. So it's like,
for just $10K a month.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so for me, obviously, I'm the other side of that. I could care less, but like, I want to call out people that are being fucking idiots, and that's, you know, it doesn't matter what political party you are, nothing, what color you are, nothing, doesn't matter. So I just like, but it's funny whenever it's so blatantly obvious, where if you're acting like you don't see it, you're a part of it.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, you made a ton of good points. I was watching and liking all the shit you were posting about that guy, and it's 100% true, where he is obviously a racist. He's obviously, you know, white supremacy is, you know, he might not be a white supremacist in his own head, but white power is important to him.
Ideologies. Right.
And I,
it's funny because I briefly did a little something on his YouTube. I commented whatever, and he just put like LOL. I was like, yeah, it fucking laughs too. Like, you idiot. It's just,
yeah.
And his apology or sum up was so fucking stupid.
That's probably the point, though, is he's doing it all for publicity. And
I mean, course.
It's the same thing of, I mean, it is what, you know, someone like Trump in the real world, or someone like fucking Riddler in the Batman, he's targeting a demographic. And so, like, Trump is not as stupid as everyone, as people, thinking like me probably think he is. He just targeted the stupidest people in the country, and those happen to be a bunch of racist white people.
No, and that's why he pissed them off. And I mentioned that because the Riddler literally speaks to those people.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think he's really just pissed off at people like him that was brought to light in a mainstream fucking film. They're like, yeah, these fucking idiot ass / fucking Proud Boy bastards are like, hey, guess what? Fuck this, fuck them, fuck that. Let's arm up and just take fucking charge.
Right.
And he feels some type of way that's literally the motive of the fucking film.
It's the real world.
Yeah. It's what it is. He literally Proud Boys this shit. He was like, listen, fuck all of them. But, which that scene was hilarious. As we get to the whole fucking thing of the Riddler, and then, sorry, we'll get back to that. I just find it funny of just like.
But he's like, hey guys.
Hey guys. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because he's being his true self. He's able to be his true self there. He's not hiding his voice because these
just
are
like they
people.
said in the interrogation. It's like, this was the fucking mask. Like, I wish you could see me in mine. Like, this was us. I just find it hilarious.
This is one of the first things I wrote down when I saw it the first time. I said, this movie points a mirror at society and shows them exactly how things would be today. The people getting bullied, aka the white people getting bullied, would grab guns and kill everyone they could.
Yeah.
Period. That's literally what that's what the Capitol thing was. That's what the riots where that kid went and killed some people and got off. Now I can't remember his name. But the one that's like famous now because he got off. But that's what it is they feel like they aren't getting what they're owed. It's the oh god, the word is escaping me. They feel like they deserve to be treated this, they're higher up than everyone. If they don't get that, they attack.
Yeah.
And that's sad. White privilege. They feel privileged.
Like it's supposed to be us and us only. No other fucking.
Yeah. And so as soon as it's not, as soon as there's an evil, like, hey, guess what? Heath Ledger's fucking white, bro. And he was evil as fuck. Joaquin Phoenix, white as fuck. It's a Joker, and he's killing people. Like, go through all, really and truly, go through the real life shit. There's not a lot of black serial killers.
No.
And so, it's the white guys that are like, yeah, my mom didn't treat me right, so now I hate women and I just rape and murder them. Right. And it's like, you fucking white privileged piece of shit. Like,
my mom made my oatmeal too fucking cold. I'm gonna go shit up school. It's like, what?
Yes.
It's like, it's that type of shit. And it's like, it's beyond me when they try to, turn the tables on society like we owe them something, or that the world in the past decades of fucking eons or generations hasn't been about them,
right,
or controlling of power or centered around them. It's just like, come on, dudes. But a fucking movie where there's a black cop and a black fucking thief, mind you, she's a thief.
Yeah.
It's fucking Catwoman, but we're still mad at that. Yeah. Right. You should be happy about that. That's okay. So criminals, thieving and shit like that. But because and every other white person is evil. Yeah. Let me just start this whole rant on fucking the internet.
Right.
And try to backpedal on some dumb shit. Okay.
So Kenya says he thinks of them more like the anonymous group that is, but they're more technology based. Like, I think Riddler is more, that's kind of my point. Riddler is an anonymous group guy that he's using his brains and his, the technology, things like that, to take out people.
Riddler's Trump.
That's correct. But he targets Proud Boys people that are stupid. Like, all the guys that show up at the end are Proud Boys people.
All the people with the flags on their trucks and all.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad we brought this up because this is another screenshot. This is from a woman. It looks like her name is Bennett. Her username is BinaBees_. And I'm just going to read this whole thing because this is completely true and it's exactly what we're saying. She said, one detail I appreciated was at the end, Batman didn't fully figure out the Riddler's puzzle because he was centering himself. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier. He was quite literally standing on top of the answer, but was too concerned about protecting his own identity. The only way he figured it out was by finally listening to someone he had been dismissive of throughout the entire film, talking about Catwoman, In every interaction, he was mainly concerned with how something affected him and his concerns. This blinded him from the truth several times, and even though he was constantly centering himself, he failed to see how he was complicit in the problems of Gotham, both as Bruce Wayne and Batman. Bruce Wayne learning to de-center himself as a white man was not on my bingo card. And that really is the truth. If you dissect him as a human being, he's a rich white guy. He doesn't see things the same as someone like Selina Kyle. And that is played very, very well there and so true.
I can tell you, he grew up rich.
Fucking great.
And before this conversation goes any farther, Poopy Pants and Sand, just want to know, we're not saying all white people are evil.
Right. I mean,
and
obviously.
that conversation shouldn't go any further than what it's trying to right now. So Poopy Pants, don't tell him how he's evil. You don't know Sand. We're not saying you're evil.
and that's the thing, though, is Sand, as a white guy, if you have a problem with what we're saying, you're part of it.
Right.
Straight up and down.
There's a very clear divide
it is
in what we're saying.
Quite obvious. So, I mean, and Poopy is obviously, his name's fucking Mr. Poopy Pants. He's obviously a troll. Every episode he says, don't spoil shit. He does that every time he's a troll. And he's gonna egg people on. But Sand, if you have a problem with what we're saying, you are specifically a part of it. And I have no desire to have you part of my community whatsoever.
But yes, but if again you're misconstruing what we're saying, we've been very clear, in the divide and the difference. Because clearly, if all white people were evil, this motherfucker would not be too.
Well, that's the thing is, and I'm for damn sure not about to say I'm the only good white person. I'm not even an okay white person. I'm pretty low level when it comes to great white people in the world. I'm just saying, there's also a lot of people way worse than me in the sense of what this world is.
Mr. Poopy Pants' views do not reflect those of the
That's
film,
correct.
of the film cave. So just putting that out there, cause I saw that conversation going. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sam. That's what I'm saying. We get you there. That's like, just be sure that's not what we're saying just because Mr. Poopy Pants said that. So yeah. Let's see. I'm the good white person. Oh, shit, he's stupid. But yeah. All right. So I don't know what else we could possibly think of.
I'm trying to think of what else is in this movie that
for now. The chat, you guys, and we'll just go from there.
So things for the future. That you want to see things.
I want Mr. Freeze.
Me fucking too.
Excuse me. Yeah, we rock with you too, Sam.
Yeah, for sure, man. Mr. Freeze is a big one. One thing I'll say, this is obvious in the movie, but I would like more things in the air. I guess I could say, like whether it's wingsuit or they're at the end when we actually get to see him swing. To go get onto that thing. It's quite obvious. He really doesn't know how to do that very well, and I love that. I do love it, but when he does it, because that's one thing about this movie is scale. This is not the Dark Knight Nolan trilogy. Right. Nolan's trilogy is scale, wide shots, like all that kind of stuff. Show the scale of all this. That is the complete opposite of this. And so really, that shot where he shoots that thing and takes off swinging, and it's because he jumps down, so he gains distance on us. But that is one of the only times in this movie where that kind of shot is utilized, where it shows scale of how big this room is. And it's almost off-putting. And so I do like the idea of, as he grows, maybe we'll get bigger stories as well. Because at the end of the day, all of Gotham is underwater. It's a massive scale in that sense, but it's told in an intimate and shown in an intimate way.
But that's all in the water. They can get Killer Croc or some shit.
Oh my God. Well, what I liked what the new Rockstar said, because they're whole thing's underwater, and they talk about how crime will continue to grow anyway, and it shows the Penguin looking over his new city, and it's like, what birds like water and swim really well? Penguins. And I was like, okay, new Rockstars, I guess they might have been going for that. I don't see him swimming. I don't think the makeup will hold if he takes a swan dive into the water here.
That'll be dumb. But like I said, you can tease Killer Croc on that. Now everything's in the water. Some shit happens. Who knows? I definitely want Freeze.
He just fits the world so well.
He does
Mr.
fit the
Freeze
world very, very well, especially in Matt Reeves' hands. Very,
Yeah.
very well. Like a Clayface.
Yeah.
There's
Oh.
many, dude.
Do you think what he like? It's obviously, adrenaline, but do you think it's Venom, like an
No.
early form of Venom?
No,
Because a lot of people are saying that.
I don't know why.
Okay.
But he didn't do all that and then pick up the fucking stadium. He just shot up.
It was
like,
obviously that's what I mean. It's like early form, small dose.
no, it's fucking adrenaline.
Okay.
I
That's what I thought too, but I just wanted to kind of get your opinion because you know more than me.
and we got more teeth on that one too. On the adrenaline. All type of shit.
Very
I was like, oh, God.
weird.
Yeah,
Very
it was a lot. It was
Like
a
that.
lot,
Like
of
that
teeth
is
in
actually
one.
that's one of those moments where I can honestly say I would have done it slightly different. I would have asked for a different take. Is the scene where he cuts the thing and he's like, and it's all fucking weird, and then that one, yeah, and then because he's in slow motion, he grabs it and then he's like, and it's like fucking dirty looking, man. But it's that one, and then it's because the one that I was talking about last week is Catwoman's right on top of him, and he's just looking up and his teeth are weird, and I was talking about the teeth, but like that
Which part when she's on him?
when she
Pulls him up?
yeah, and he's like
Okay.
fucking out, he needs the adrenaline,
Oh, he just
and
all
right before she gets taken,
Yeah.
and needs the adrenaline, but his teeth are weird, but you can't fix that is the thing, but like.
You got like little chiclet teeth.
But then
That's
but when he injects himself, I would have asked for a slightly different performance for when he takes that, because he's like, like he's like and he's like doing this weird shit, and so that's the only reason why when someone said the Venom thing, I'm like, maybe it is like fucking with him a little bit, but no, I think that
adrenaline rush through a shit.
I think they said, hey Robert, like, what do you think would happen here? And he's like, I'd make a bunch of weird ass noises, and they're like, probably, let's go ahead and do that.
Let's do it. I'm gonna beat the brakes off that motherfucker.
Yeah. I do think Two-Face is set up. I just don't. I want new. Like, I want things we haven't seen in a while, if possible. Especially like I would be okay with Bane, because I know it'll be a very different Bane than what we got. And even though Tom Hardy is okay,
I don't want Bane. We just had him.
that's right. But like, I know it'd be different. Joker is Joker. Like, every time we've seen Joker, besides Jared Leto in some ways, even though I do enjoy him in a lot of ways, the Joker is the Joker, and people have been doing that a very good job. You know what I mean? Two-Face, incredibly well done when it comes to that in The Dark Knight.
Right.
So I would love Mr. Freeze. Last time we saw that is Arnold. I don't think it'll be very similar to that in Matt Reeves' world.
We haven't even seen Clayface.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to go about it.
There's a huge rogues gallery here.
Huge. So yeah, nobody. Freeze is the only one I'd want recently touched. Not even recent. That's like fucking 90s.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this.
What you got?
And Kenya's gonna like this. So I rewatched and stumbled upon Batman and Robin. Even though it's trash, it is so much fun, and just the camp that it is. I'm like, I fucking love Arnold as Mr. Freeze. I'm sorry, I do. I fucking loved it.
Sure.
Like, like I fucking loved it. And George Clooney, amazing fucking Bruce Wayne, absolutely. And I don't hate him as Batman. So just like I cannot. Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy goes way over the fucking top. Batgirl is kind of bad, is really bad. But it's like
shit, that's funny.
Yeah, man, it's just both of them are just delightful in the fucking movie, and I'm like, I can't.
I have heard people say Hush. I don't know anything about Hush.
I loved that tease. I love that Easter egg. I loved
because
all of
that's
it.
The reporter that went after the Waynes is the grandfather of Hush.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Elliot is a name that sticks with Bruce Wayne throughout the comic books, who ends up being one of his best friends, and literally assumes the identity of Bruce Wayne as well. But he goes around like fucked up like bandages and all type of shit. They retconned it as of recently, and it's the Riddler now, which is funny.
Interesting.
Right. But it's a really, really good storyline. So that's why like they literally, because he could have just said did a hush deal, but no, they literally said hush, like to let you fucking know, like, hey,
Yeah.
wink, wink.
And is there an animated movie about that?
Yeah,
Damn.
but it's the Riddler now, so
Right.
it's not the story you would know.
Okay.
So that wouldn't be like the one go-to and be like, oh yeah, this is it, because it'll steer you wrong. But no, the Hush Tease was really, really damn good.
Okay.
Oh god, my body. I didn't realize that. Yeah, like I said, it's genuinely a great story. Told you guys Batman and Robin is good. I didn't say it was good. I started off saying it was trash. I'm saying that it's fun, and the main two characters I love dearly. Because Arnold's just having fun, and it's so perfect, and he looks great. But we don't. Yeah, let's just fuck it. Get Arnold again for Matt Reeves for Batman 2.
There you go. There we
Just
go.
fucking let's go. Like, just go for it. I saw somebody say Batista for Hugo Strange. I'd be like, fuck you twice and third times for bad luck. No.
Okay. Who is Hugo Strange?
Hugo Strange
I know
is like,
I know the picture that you're talking about. Like I've seen that posted, but I don't know
right.
the
He is a
character.
pinnacle doctor in Arkham Asylum, and the only one and the
He's
most
Dr.
famously
Strange?
knows who Batman's identity is.
Ooh,
Right.
interesting.
Also, that scale would not work because fucking Dave Bautista's like this and Robert Pattinson's
Massive.
like, yeah. It's not gonna.
Well, let me see.
work.
Hold on. How tall is
Hugo's
Hugo?
not his strength. It's not about strength
Okay.
at all.
About performance. So damn for sure we're not getting him. Got you.
Right. It's all performance and brilliance, and I'm running Arkham. I know your secret. I'm playing games type shit.
Gotcha.
Right. And that is not Dave Bautista.
Yeah. Okay. So Batista's 6'6",
Yes.
and Robert Pattinson's only 6'1",
Yeah.
which is very weird. I'm taller than Batman. That's fucking weird. I don't like movie magic really is true
Yeah,
when you
man.
look at things like that. We were talking about that last week, but like,
Yeah.
it's just weird. Like, how tall is Andy Serkis? Is he a short motherfucker?
I imagine he is. He doesn't look like he's very like tall.
5'8".
Yeah.
Weird.
And that motherfucker was eye level to him
Yeah.
in the movie. Yeah. But you can tell Circus is short. So I'm like, that's movie magic. Because he's right up in there like, Alfred, I'm looking you in your
Correct.
soul. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. What about Jason Momoa? For what? I don't know about that one.
But I truly do, especially like, so I will give credit to Kenya. Devin was the first person that says,
Ouch.
he told me he wanted Mr. Freeze in something here.
Yeah.
But as we got closer, I was saying I got on that train, and especially now after seeing it and seeing how Matt Reeves really is going for the emotional story.
Yeah. His story is tragic, dude.
It really fits the world to do something like Mr. Freeze. Like I also like the idea, because that was one thing too, is it didn't click for me until the very end of this third viewing, because I haven't been the biggest fan of the marketing with all the red.
Oh, I loved it.
Everything's bright red. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like it, but I'm not like the poster where it's just a silhouette and it's all red with the rain. I don't like that poster. I like the opposite poster of Riddler where it's black and he's red. I liked that, where he's holding out to the Batman thing. That was original one, that the two posters that came out. But it clicked for me, in this one, that all the red is from the flare at the end. That's like, it's just it's all red. And also in Robert's screen test, it's actually in the movie. his screen test is, where it randomly cuts to the red light and the Batman suit down, and he's putting the makeup on in the mirror at the very beginning, right before his entrance. That is Robert's screen test, where they actually, so like the bat suit was shot separate because they didn't have his bat suit yet, and he was wearing, they cannot remember if it was Clooney's or Kilmer's, but they know it has nipples.
Kilmer's.
So Robert apparently says Clooney and Matt says Kilmer, so they can't.
Oh, Kravitz said Kilmer too.
Okay. But they were randomly sitting there, and it was just Robert in the suit by itself. And Matt was like, "Oh, I've got an idea." He's like, "Take that off," because he's like, "I like how you're looking right now with your hair." And he's like, "Take the suit off," and he's like, "Come over this mirror, and I want you to just stare into the mirror and put this makeup on your face." And they just lit a red light above them, and that's it. And that was what sold. Like, he took that, and Giacchino pre-composed the theme before they ever shot anything. And so Matt Reeves took that shot, that video of him putting that makeup on, and put the theme behind it and showed it to all of Warner Brothers, and they were like, "Fuck yes! Like, whatever you're doing, we're in." And they actually put it in the movie.
Bad scene. Yeah.
And I mean, it's real quick. It's kind of crazy to think about the fact that, like, it's crazy to think about, like, they're probably sitting there just talking, going, "Damn, look at, like, yeah, okay, put it on like this," like in the reality of the actual video that is playing. Like, obviously they take the audio out and redo sound over it and all that, but like the fact that that's the screen test and it's in the movie, I just think that's that's another part of movie magic, is like, it's just dope. Like,
it's really dope.
I just dig it.
And it's like, I love the music cues in this. I like when it gets really like blunt, like the doom, but when it gets blunt, I really like it. Like the third time he goes into the Iceberg Lounge and he's about to cut off the power and he's walking, and it's just like doom, 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 doom. He just walks. I was like, oh shit, it's gave me hype. Yeah. So I love when it's blunt like that, which is really cool. Poison Ivy and Scarecrow could work, but we just had Scarecrow, so I want to wait for that. Poison Ivy could be interesting, depending on who it is.
Yeah, correct.
And who plays. Just fucking Kenya wanted this big, thick ass, big booty ass wrestler.
I know, what the hell are you talking
I was
about?
like, bruh.
How about somebody with some acting?
Can I get an actress?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Because we've been trying to cast Poison Ivy and our Black Cat for like a minute now. He's like, "Oh, I think I found her." I was like, "What? You got this big ass WWE?"
I don't know.
Listen, he got the ass. He saw the ass and got distracted.
Correct.
And started throwing shit out.
Boy, I see Poison Ivy as like a very thin woman. Like, obviously got
Poopy Pants. If you ever utter Amber Heard in this chat again, you will be banned forever in life.
I think he did that on purpose.
He probably did. It's Poopy Pants.
But
yeah, she can be that, but still voluptuous in a way. It's Poison Ivy. Like, you gotta. Her whole thing is literally fucking sex. Like,
she has to have breasts, but like, I don't think she needs to have the fucking ass of somebody that squats.
No. Yeah, no. Like, she has to be voluptuous. Like, she has to be curved, like petite, like petite and curvy.
Right,
like,
correct.
Her thing is literally sex. Like, you can't make that argument for like Wonder Woman. All the people are like, she needs to be breasty and big tittied and shit.
Which
like,
I could also see why that's possibly not something they want to do, is just because they did kind of make, they went more of the I don't want to call her a prostitute, that's not what they did, but Catwoman in this one is definitely more woman of the streets type of vibe. So I don't know if they would necessarily want to go further down that. Yeah, no, you're completely right. Yeah. But I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if they wanted to go just massive sex symbol. I just don't know how well that works in today's time. I trust Matt Reeves' vision in a lot of ways. If it's in his vision, I'd be very interested to see what he's thinking.
I don't need her breasts flying all over the place or doing whatever.
Right.
I just don't need her to look like she's 5 or something. Like, just give me.
No, for sure.
Right. Because even if you wanted to, like, she's not the most curviest thing in the world, but she's petite and has body. Like, just saying Anna. Like, if she was like, I want to be Catwoman, I want to be fucking Poison Ivy. Then I'm like, okay, sure, you can
Because
perk her up, get all this. I'm like, here.
that's the thing too. Is I was gonna say, in the worlds, in the tones that the movies are, I see Poison Ivy being more sexual, voluptuous. You know, whether it's cleavage showing, skin tight, this, whatever it is,
Right.
than a Black Cat in a Spider-Man movie right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I see Black Cat more covered up in the MCU, and then
She's
Poison
more
Ivy
covered
in
up
this
and just
world.
got the breasts out.
Right.
Poison Ivy's like, I'm walking around here in a damn near fucking thong and
Right.
like a shirt, if that. Let's button down with one button. I'm just like, yeah, everybody, what's up? Love me and shit. That's Poison Ivy.
She's literally in like a latex bodysuit. Like,
well,
it's
like
just
literally her renditions of her now, she's literally just has the skimpiest little panties on, damn near thong, and a red shirt that's literally one button here, and everything's just like, yeah. I'm just like, oh, do
All
you,
right.
girl? Do you?
Um,
so I'm just
do
like,
you-
all right.
do you have a thought for Mr. Freeze casting?
No, I don't. It can
it's
be
just-
so.
It could be literally so many people. Like,
Yeah, I know. I know. Mark Strong was one that people was throwing around for the longest.
longest time.
Yeah.
Which he is in Shazam.
Right. I
God
don't
damn,
know. It's tough.
The
Even if you want to Cranston that shit, you could. Like,
well,
it's
so that's the
not.
thing is Cranston is one, but then this fan made one that I'm seeing right here is very interesting, and it's Giancarlo.
Is it Juan Carlo? Yeah, I saw that one.
That one,
I would not be mad at
that's
all.
a fucking actor right there, man.
I would not be. That'd be a smooth ass fucking Mr. Freeze too. Because that bastard is just
Damn.
suave, man. But I would not be mad at him at
Yeah.
all. That would be amazing. I think
I'm seeing another one right here. I'm trying to remember this actor's name.
even if you wanted to, I don't know if he has the bald head for it. But even Fassbender could play a complex person like that.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah. I can see him sitting there talking about, Nora and shit, the complexity of it all. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Watch it be like, yeah, it's Mark Wahlberg. It's like, what?
Oh my god. Please
Like,
no.
yeah, let's take out the fucking Batman. He's trying to kill my wife. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, Mr. Freeze. I'm like, dear God. Or Tom Holland. Whichever one.
It's Scarlett Johansson. That's
Huh?
who needs to play Mr. Freeze.
Oh, you're stupid. I thought you was going back on. Oh, motherfucker. I thought you was talking about Poison Ivy, but now I fucking want it.
Scarlett?
Scarlett as Poison Ivy?
Oh man, I don't know.
I do. I do. Have her run around with red hair and nothing on, fucking seducing people. I do. I'd see that greatly. Oh God, I want ScarJo as. I'm gonna start the hashtag ScarJo for Poison Ivy. Batman 2, do it, because she is. Man.
Okay, here's one that it's a fan made one, but it's the actor Jason Isaacs.
Okay.
He is Malfoy
Okay, yeah,
in Harry Potter. Interesting choice.
he's his daddy.
Correct.
Yeah,
Acting chops and suave as fuck if he wants to be, like I think he's just got that balance of going crazy versus
That'd be funny. Go get Christian Bale. Christian Bale is Mr. Freeze. That'd be hilarious.
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm just saying that'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Or they get Tyler Lautner. Tyler Lautner is Mr. Freeze. It's a reunion. It's a reunion. And Kirsten is Poison Ivy. There you go.
No.
It's the reunion we all wanted in a Batman film. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's the thing too, is like for me, like Bryan Cranston is a great choice.
He is.
I don't think it needs to be somebody that we've seen bald yet, if that makes sense. Like Bryan Cranston's the one that immediately people think because he's been an iconic bald actor before.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to go outside the box, but like
Ken, he was doing so good. until you said that.
Giancarlo is a very interesting one.
Giancarlo is very nice. I guess I will never. You cannot go wrong with that man. I will never say no.
Yeah.
to Giancarlo. So it's not even no opposition here. That's tough, man. I'd have to go through I'd have to see.
Yeah, I mean,
But even the names we mentioned are really fucking good.
and don't listen to Kenya. You should hear his.
God, I'm not.
Who was it that he for Ghost Rider? He wants somebody for Ghost Rider that just it doesn't work.
I'm afraid to ask.
If he drops the name, I can't remember the guy's name. It's somebody I haven't seen in a very long time.
Who do you want as Ghost Rider, Kenya?
It was Ghost Rider, right? Yeah, he'll let me know. But
I'm gonna fucking say Jesus, fucking Matthew Broderick, Ghost Rider. It's like, what? You want the fucking Inspector Gadget to be Ghost Rider?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like, what the fuck? Listen, knowing him, he be having those takes sometimes. I can never be too sure. The lead Josh Hartnett? No.
That's who he wants, yeah.
Josh Hartnett, no.
And I'm like, when's the last time I even saw him? I mean,
I'd rather have Norman Reedus before fucking.
Yeah.
No. Oh God. That brought up something. I don't know why.
What you got?
I forgot what it was. Ooh. See, that's a better one. Alexander Skarsgård for Ghost Rider. That would not be bad, actually.
You think?
Yeah.
God, you know who I see when I see him? Is fucking Constantine.
He's a good one too for Constantine.
I mean, I really see him with Constantine, but
yeah, Constantine would be good too, actually. Ooh. Oh, Keanu Reeves, Ghost Rider. No, I'm just like,
oh my God, he would be hilarious.
He would be hilarious, but good. I would listen. He's that grungy type motherfucker to do it. I would not be. If they would have told me today Keanu Reeves was, I would not be upset. It would not be my first choice, but I would not be upset.
So that's the thing is, I would much prefer him as a Ghost Rider than Moon Knight, because remember, people wanted him as Moon Knight for a while, and Moon Knight takes an actor. You know what I mean? And Poopy's about to drop some stupid shit.
Yeah, listen. Got the perfect actor. Oh God. Let's see who you got, Poopy.
Mr. Freeze.
Let's see, Josh plays. Yeah, he does, but not Ghost Rider type. I can't. Good day, sir. Good day. So who said that shit? Somebody said it on Twitter too. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it literally made me upset when somebody said that. I do not want Leo fucking up Mr. Freeze like that and just being Leo in blue makeup. Oh, I remember somebody said that on Twitter. I was like, I want to find you and just hurt you. That's what no. But yeah, so I got my lock in for Ghost Rider. I want Keanu Reeves. Fuck it. That's what I want. Get it done, MCU.
And how old is Keanu Reeves?
He ain't got to do shit. He got to sit on the bike. It'll all be CGI. Fuck it.
Good God.
Which he drives bikes on a daily. He gets got to ride.
Oh,
and then he'll
I
be
see.
on fire. He'll be fine.
He froze in Titanic and got revived as Mr. Freeze. That makes it much, much better.
So this is the continuation of Jack.
That's correct.
Got it. Okay. I lost my Rose. She kicked me off the door. I'll never know love again. I'm like, well, what?
The girl that played Rose could have been. No, she's not thin enough. I was gonna say Poison Ivy back in the day because she was redheaded in Titanic.
Oof, not thin enough. The shade.
That's what I was gonna say.
Of it all. The shade of it all. You know, I can't. Yeah.
I'm about to look up here.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I don't see Alexander Skarsgård as Ghost Rider. I just don't.
It'll be a cool thing, but I much prefer Constantine. Not just say that. I much prefer Constantine.
Okay.
For sure. I can see him like that in the black, in the brown trench.
I
and
literally like.
all
There's a picture of him right here. Here, I'll just shoot this to you, or I'll show it on screen here. Like that literally is Constantine.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Now, can you put on an accent? I don't know.
That's a
We'll
great
see.
question. His dad can.
I never heard. Right. His dad's a fucking tremendous actor.
It's fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
All the Skarsgårds are good, man.
They
This
kill
is
it,
a
man.
Talented fucking family,
Which-
dude.
That's the thing too. Is what could we? The guy that played Pennywise, and I can't remember
Yeah.
his. But
Bill.
He could be a ton of shit.
He can be a lot of
Get
shit.
him into the DC
a
movies now.
lot of shit.
Like,
dude.
talk about somebody that can just. I don't care what he's cast as. I'm gonna be like, okay, I
It
like the sound of
sucks
that.
that we only got him as a voice in Eternals. It really sucks.
yeah.
But no, get him. He can do like a fucking Mad Hatter. He can do a fucking.
God damn.
God,
man,
he can
he's
do. He
fucking
can do
good.
so much.
Like if you were gonna do a Scarecrow again,
Like I said, Scarecrow, because Kenya said that too. He can do Scarecrow. He can do so much shit. Hell, if you want to do fucking Joker again, why
I
fucking
know,
not?
man.
Like, you can do so much with him. Because he's one of those physical actors that will like just give you his all.
100%.
And he can
100%.
be creepy, he can be scary, he can be fun, he can
Scary.
be everything. Because goddamn did he kill fucking Pennywise. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Excuse me, that was gross. But yeah.
let me see
Bill
here.
Skarsgård, dear God. Not utilized enough.
He's so good. Like, he's somebody that's going to be something as we,
Oh yeah.
as we go through time. He's going to be something phenomenal.
No, absolutely. Let's see.
Who did oh fuck, now I can't even remember his name. Ewan McGregor play in-
Black Mask.
Okay.
Which, if they get on Black Mask, they need to get Jason Statham right away.
Oh,
Get to do
really?
a Black Mask. Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be sexy as shit. If they did Black Mask and it's Jason Statham, I'm convinced nobody else can play him but him. Because he literally is fucking Black Mask.
Really?
Just give him a shit on boom, boom. He's literally that. It needs to
Okay.
be Jason Statham. It's yeah. And he can fuck shit up, do his own stunts, do all that, and he has the voice, the stature, all that. Fuck yes. Absolutely. Because believe it or not, the times he puts on a little, he decides he wants to show emotion and do stuff, he's not bad. But he just all these movies we just have to be like, yeah, I'm gonna cut you in the face type shit or whatever. Like
Okay.
it's just it.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Right, but once he actually emotes a little bit, I'm like, cool, bro. I see
Gotcha.
that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nobody can fight in a suit like Jason can. That's for goddamn sure. Absolutely. Yeah, see, Kenya, we here on that one. We here on that one for sure.
I'm interested in Mad Hatter. I just don't know much about him.
He's a really fucked up individual.
Is he similar to Riddler? Is like a,
No, his whole shit is Alice in Wonderland theme. Like he's trippy.
okay.
He's a trippy fucker. For sure. And Bill would play that really nice. He could do all the body shit. He's very like body acting and like weird, like yeah, back and all that shit.
Oh, God damn. I immediately know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's all that shit. Complete
I like
and
that.
utter different from Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So that can be him. I did see the Batgirl set pit of Firefly. I did not see the bike. I just saw him in the suit. I'm guessing it was a stunt suit 'cause that shit was clunky as
It looked horrible.
fuck. Okay, he's also not a skinny dude anymore. So I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hugo Strange in the Arkham series would be dope. Well, yeah, they're doing a lot of spin-offs with this shit. Catwoman, Penguin, Arkham, Gotham, PD, everything.
I'm very interested in the Arkham thing because that's the one that basically that's the one WB has dipped their toe in and asked for changes. because that was originally there was going to be a GCPD show about a crooked cop trying to win his soul back or whatever, and they basically nixed that and said do something with Arkham for the Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous about that in a lot of ways, because that's not some, like, obviously it could have immediately inspired Matt to do something incredible, but it's not his own idea that came out of it.
Right.
So I'd be interested to see what that means.
I'm interested to see anything that comes out of this world. I'm
Right.
there.
I agree.
And shows, movies, everything. You got me. I definitely want to see the Catwoman. See where the fuck she goes from here on out. I'm guessing it's gonna follow her after she made that hard left. We're gonna see where it happened.
Yeah.
And what else was there? Oh, the Penguin. You see his rise, and then Arkham's, which I'm here for. A Crooked Cop Super Edition would have been a great setup for Clayface. Yeah. No, Clayface is also a brother, isn't he? I think Clayface is black. Before he turns, I think he's black. If I'm not mistaken. All right, so I'll give you all a few more minutes here in the chat. See anything that you got here before we wrap it upeth. Just not on hold. Yeah, that's what they said.
Okay, I'm trying to just go through the movie in my head now of like.
Oh, gotcha.
Different riddles. I fucking loved the
riddles. The traps were great.
Yeah, I mean, so good.
At least the setup, since we never actually get to see them effective or go off, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. I want to see that. I want to see that fucker's face getting chewed up by rats and
right
everything else. I was like, damn it, I want to see that because it came in heavy.
But like
fucking
that,
Halloween.
because you saw that on the TV, like that video. First of all, I can't believe they showed that on the TV, like on the news, when the commissioner's in the trap.
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those things where obviously a paycheck's a paycheck, do whatever you want. But like, it's a testament to the actor and the character he's playing, where it was off-putting to see that guy that walked in and said, "Happy fucking Halloween," and he's a goddamn vigilante, and get him out of here, and all that. And then to see him shirtless, terrified with a trap on his face, phenomenally executed, because like, testament to him in the beginning.
It took him down greatly.
But then also, like, as an actor being like, oh yeah, no, like, strip me down, put me in my underwear and make me look like a bitch, like, because that's what it was, and it's terrifying when you allow yourself to be that vulnerable on screen like that. Like, it fucking worked in so many ways. So testament to that guy.
Absolutely.
He was great.
He's about to have his face.
And then the guy that replaces him has the weirdest fucking voice.
Oh yeah, I've known him from quite a few shows. He's more famous in the UK.
Okay.
He does a lot of shows. He was most famous for it was his LGBT Q show called Cucumber, but he was on.
Okay.
That's why I first realized, I was like, his voice is very unique. And when I saw him in this, I'm like, oh shit, he's in this? I was like, what the fuck is Batman doing here? Gordon! I was like, oh god. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. You know how much shit I could rap you on, guy? I was like, oh god. Everyone assaulted an officer. I'm like, oh god. Like, Jesus Christ.
Give him some space, guys.
No, give him the room.
2 minutes.
It's like something's permanently stuck here and
Right.
you can't get it out.
It's somebody's choking him.
like you strain him.
He's like, you gotta act, but
Like he's getting fucking
choking me.
Falconed through the whole movie. I'm like, this is...
Which, one thing I'll say, do you care about the pronunciation of Falcone, by the way?
No.
Because Matt Reeves in interviews calls him Falcone.
Yeah.
So I think
People
it's
like,
just
Falcone. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I know who he is.
Right.
That's it.
Because I think it's quite obvious that it's to distinguish and make it easier for when they're saying Maroney and not having it Falcone and Maroney. So it's like
Right.
easier for people that aren't paying attention or when quick lines are read to
Which I'm surprised
not
it was
go,
just
wait, did he
a
say
name in
Falcone?
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Maroni, because usually those two are like. So I'm surprised
Right.
it was just a name. I'm like, all right, cool. It works, I guess. So yeah, let's talk in the Maroni case. The Maroni case. Maroni case. I'm like, all right, yeah, we got it. The fucking Maroni case. It's half the DA office, like everything.
Yeah. I loved the fact that he's
fucking
recording
Stellan
everything.
Skarsgård or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. I need to see his face.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Gotta make IDs.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. Like,
She's
positive
like-
IDs.
She's like, if I look back, he's gonna fucking think I want him, and he's like, I don't like, just give it to him.
I liked that conversation about with him. It's like, talk to him. He was like,
Yeah.
fuck. I was like,
She's
all
like,
right.
and he's coming over. Is that what you wanted? Talk to him.
Yeah, talk to him. It's like, oh god.
You that's what I like too, is as they get more comfortable, his voice with her starts
Loosens
going
up.
away.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. And I also love later on whenever he's sitting he walks in to sit at his desk, and she turned that shit back on and has the little sticky note says, "Are you there?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh
Selena.
shit." Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
right after everything with Alfred happened, so he's like vulnerable as fuck, and she's asking
Yeah.
to meet, and he has to put that face back on and be the Batman, even though he probably doesn't feel like it right now, and it's just so fucking good, man. This movie.
It's so good. I loved it.
I just want to like transport back, first of all, to when like the first rumor came out of Robert Pattinson, and I was immediately like, I fucking love it. Let's go. And you were like, hell no. Fuck that guy. Twilight guy? Fuck that. And because like I was like, I think he'd be great, but like I obviously don't know for sure. And you were just like immediately like, hell no. And so I just like, I think back now, I can think so fondly of those times, because it's one of those things where like it all worked out, and it
Right.
turned out pretty much as good as it could have been.
Thankfully, yes.
So
No, absolutely. I'm eating all the crow that there is in
Well,
the world.
and I guess the only thing I could say that would make this better is if you still had that mindset up to walking into the theater. Because can you imagine if you were like so not about it, and then that opening hit, and you're like, fuck, like it just.
I'm not gonna hold you. If I did walk into with that opening shit would have completely just like put me so much at ease. Because sounding so dramatic, but coming from being an immense fucking Batman fan that I am,
Sure.
sitting in that theater for the first time and having them nail that opening scene of all the essence of how Batman is.
Talking about looking in the shadows and stuff.
Right, just a voiceover, the feel,
Yeah.
how it was shot.
Yeah.
It was one of the best theater experiences I've ever had. Only because I'm just like, literally from start, like I was smiling the whole time, like giddily, and just like, oh my god, like it felt so good.
Like,
So like,
I gotta admit, I need to figure out a way. I need some sort of suction cup that will stick to the back of a theater chair for you to put on the person in front of you and put your phone and film your shit. Because like, can you imagine? I think about that for like the first time I saw Infinity War, especially the first time I saw Endgame. For you, something like this, where like I would have killed to see that reaction on your face.
I literally felt like the only child. Like it was so much happiness when like I'm getting goosebumps and almost like emo about it now. Like so much just overwhelmed me because like Batman was a character as a kid. It was like my fucking life, dude. So it's like to see that
just perfectly
just
embodied,
10
just
minutes
without
just
even showing him
everything.
yet.
Without a single fucking frame of Batman on screen, you completely got everything that he was in the fear, the myth, the legend, the name, who he was. People just like, yo, I run these streets every fucking night. I can't be able, but they know who the fuck I am. The
big city.
They think about doing shit. they look to that shadows and they fucking think twice. So like, could he not? They see that signal, shit changes. Like it's like, oh my god, like it was just
man. It really is like immediately nails so much. And
yeah,
I mean, I don't know how that doesn't immediately sell. Like if the movie doesn't live up to what that opening is for you, fine.
Yeah.
But that opening is 100% Gotham and Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say otherwise. Like, I mean, watching that guy, you know, the spray painting guy, that's something, but also he's not really doing something terrible.
Right, just tagging up. But
that's not somebody Batman would go after, but he's scared anyway.
Still that fear, right.
But then you get the guy that's robbing the convenience store. That guy shit his pants. Looking into the place that he planned on running to before he walked in that bitch.
Yeah. And I love the pan, the zoom in
on
like
nothing.
you sit and look at it and he's just I was like,
you're expecting to see him, and that's the point.
It's just anticipation. It's like, what the fuck? Because he's sitting there just watching the show. I was like, fuck, should I? Like, I don't know. And like zooms on him, then it goes back and it's in the shadows and shit. I'm like, oh my, and he's just like, fuck.
And he's like, I'd rather be in the light and get caught by the cops.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, you know, he gets ran over by taxi and
oh my god. And just that transition, because it all starts before they see the signal. It's a fucking helicopter shining the light. They're like, hey, what the fuck? And the light from that goes away, and then they see the shit shining in the sky. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
It's like I loved it. I was like, wow. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, hands down one of the best experiences I've ever had. It was amazing. And then we get the footsteps and just everything. I'm like, what the fuck? Like tassels on the boots on a Western, man.
Now what I'll say, I mean, really going into the sequel is a way to keep that vibe, because you still have to instill the fear. You have to make people think vengeance is coming for them, but also the hope.
Yeah. Be the vengeance for the bad guys, keep the hopes to the innocents.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that needs to be played really good. You need to see the difference in that.
Even almost make, because that's one thing too is what's interesting is Batman hasn't been, at least what the vibe I'm getting is he hasn't been public. He's a myth, you know, like he really is. But like, I like the idea of just as a hope scenario of everybody that you catch during the day or during the night, you leave them strung up on like the police station's front door.
Right.
And you know, like something to where something where people can see what you're doing, and you're hopeful when you walk outside at night. It's a little bit of hope of like, somebody's got my back in a certain way.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think so too. Tie him up to fucking light posts, hang him upside down. Fucking.
Can I just say right now, a sequel to the Batman with Mr. Freeze as the villain, surrounded by Christmas time period, that is a dream. Like if it's because we just got the Batman on Halloween.
Yeah.
Which that's when it was supposed to come out, was October. Can you fucking imagine?
That'd have been great.
The vibe of October. If we got October 31st, Thursday, October 31st, you know, city's filled, even with the rain. You know, like it would just all be like, the element. And I just like that already incredible. Like that's what I wanted, you know, is Batman on Halloween. It's like, oh, favorite fucking day of the year, isn't it? You know, I love that shit at the beginning. But now, Christmas, it makes sense. First of all,
Freeze, that'd be great.
Is that not like, that's a dream? Because I just got my dream. What's my next dream? Now? That? A sequel to that? Mr. Freeze on Christmas. Because like I could see Mr. Freeze saying like, you know what I want? Christmas with my wife. And like he's like, I'm doing this shit on Christmas. I'm gonna ruin everybody else's Christmas, kind of shit. Like,
or just have him just be riddled with ice puns again.
I mean, he'll definitely do it because that's the thing too. Is it has to be cold with Mr. Freeze, so that's why I think it makes a ton of sense.
Well, it does, but then again, he has a suit too, so you can just go out and just be chilling.
No, but the thing is, you have to have some ice puns, some cold
Yeah.
puns, and
And cinematically, that'd just be fucking beautiful with
Right,
the snow and everything. Shit.
yeah, the Gotham lit up by, the ugliness of Gotham lit up by Christmas lights in places, and I think that would be so great. But also in terms of the atmosphere of what Mr. Freeze will bring, it needs to be cold, rainy, dreary again, but like a different kind. It has to hurt you, and
Right.
having it freezing cold and raining like that would be
I
interesting.
don't know. I just picture Batman and Freeze just having a conversation as the snow is just fucking falling.
Yeah.
Like amongst them and shit. Cinematically and cinematography, that would just be so
And just
fucking.
and Christmas lights reflecting off of his bowl.
Oh my god, not his bowl.
What do you
Right.
call it? His
I
dome.
don't know.
I mean,
It's just funny to say that. Just reflecting off his bowl. Like what?
it's glass bowl.
Right. His little dome head. Oh no. But no, it'll be beautiful cinematically, and I'd want to see that.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is always a gorgeous thing to fucking film.
It really because that's what I want to see. Is I want to see Gotham at Christmas.
Yeah.
I want to see a place that's so
I want to see this
depressing
Gotham at Christmas. Yeah.
to be, but during the fun time of the year, the hopeful time of the year. Because New York, like you're saying, like you walk around New York right now and you feel like, what's up, bitch? Kind of thing.
Dude, oh my God.
And at the same time, New York
movie
during
hyped me up.
Christmas has the biggest fucking tree imaginable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, it puts on that face of like, it's fucking cold here, and people still gonna walk to work and get on this metal tube. It's probably cold as shit on that. I don't know, but I would guess so.
It's definitely cold in the fucking train station. I know that.
Yeah, and that concrete just fucking So I don't know, man. I really like that. That's the thing is, the Batman really gave me. I didn't know I wanted Riddler, things like that, when it was announced. But
Right.
once I found out it was Riddler and everything, it gave me everything I wanted. Now, that's what I want. There you go, Kenya. Where's my Christmas miracle from Mr. Freeze? I fucking love it, man. That would be dope.
Christmas Miracle is sitting back there in a fucking box, waiting to come alive and shit, or whatever the hell. Yeah, that'd be great. I need it. I need it now.
And then that awkward moment when Mr. Freeze and Batman under the mistletoe. Oh,
Started
like-
trying each other, and it's just like, oh shit.
he's like, "Look, just take this off."
right. Like, hurry up! Oh, they got for so long under this bitch.
and then Bruce's dumbass tries to use tongue, and he's like, "It's stuck like like a ball."
Too much. Just lips.
It's like
Lips.
it gets stuck like the street pole.
Absolutely. Like who kissed first? You kiss first? I kiss first? What do we do? Who
Who's
goes?
leaning in?
Right. Who's leaning?
He's like, well, I can't lean. I'll hit you with my ears.
Right. It's like I'm the hero. You lean in. Like I'm.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
But yeah,
That'd be
like
great.
that really is like that's what I want for right now. Obviously, whatever Matt's plan is, I trust him.
Right.
Right as of right now, 100%. But and here's the other thing is it's 2022. This needs to be released 2025 at the latest.
4. Fuck it. 2024.
Because that's the thing too is they did
Start it right now.
talking to or hearing Matt Reeves talk. I didn't realize that he's been working on this movie for 5 years.
Yeah.
And he also talks about, and everybody else talks about how he is very one-track minded. Whatever he's working on, he cannot think of the future. And so that was the big thing is Warner Brothers kept asking him for meetings while he was in post on War for the Planet of the Apes. And he's like, I have no time for you guys. And finally they were like, it's for the Batman. And he's like, I'll give you a little bit of time. and then they said, it's Ben Affleck's Batman movie. And they gave him the script and he's like, I don't want to do this.
Even though he took elements of that shit, still fine.
Sure. But he was I love him talking about that because he's like it literally starts with like multiple characters from like Justice League and things like that, and he's like I'm so not about it. It's just, and he said, he's like, I need an emotional way in for me to get invested. And so I appreciate that, because there's so many directors who'll just come in and direct whatever you give them, and it's shit, you know, like Andy Serkis with Let There Be Carnage. He had nothing to do with that fucking script, and he went in, did what he could, and it's dog shit.
Yeah, I keep fucking forgetting that he made that movie.
Isn't that sad?
I keep fucking forgetting he made that movie, man.
He directed that shit.
God. That's a
crazy?
stain.
Yeah.
That is a stain.
Correct.
And then gave us one of the most useless fucking post-credit. I guess it's not useless. It served some kind of purpose.
But it's also that's why I like, they asked him like, hey, how do you like working with Marvel and with DC? And he answered, he's like, well, I like the lightheartedness of Marvel and I like the dark tones of DC. And it's like,
Right.
oh, but they were talking about Let There Be Carnage. But I'm glad you just went ahead and tiptoed around that and brought up your Black Panther days.
Oh,
yeah. And not to actually talk about like, oh, working with Sony's Marvel.
Yeah.
Because that was dog shit. Let's go ahead and not bring that up.
Let's stick to the good side, shall we? Let's just be MCU. We don't talk about that other shit.
Oh, I do have to say, stupid comparison, but one thing I've said from the get-go with Black Panther, the eyes, when he takes it's his actual eyes, I haven't enjoyed that as much. Like, I just don't think it doesn't give me anything. And I learned, so when Black Panther, his mask doesn't have eye coverings, like it just shows his real eyes through, like in the Solo movie.
Does it? He has the white eyes. It comes and goes.
That's what I mean. Is when it's gone.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's
when he lifts them up and shit. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't like it never gave me anything, and I just thought that it was a little weird. And I'm now realizing, you need an actor that can handle it, but having this much space around your eyes to where you can see eyebrow movements and squinting and things like that, how much that helps. Because this movie, and I think it's also a massive testament to Robert, but damn, like the eye acting he does in this is just ridiculous. Fucking great. So just stupid comparison, but I did want to bring that up because it's something of.
Oh, well, so the eyeballs work for me.
But it doesn't give you anything, you know. It's just staring.
No, when he was when he was confronting Claw, I really liked it because I saw the emotion in that because he really didn't have him open a lot in the movie.
But like all the marketing had it because it was
all the marketing had it. Yeah,
and yeah, that's what I mean. It's just him.
That's what threw me off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, why'd you do that? Like he just did a whole action pose. He's like,
exactly. It's just staring straight through, and yeah. Right. And like the statues for Black Panther, a lot of them, like for the Solo movie, like they have that because it's a difference from the. And I'm just like, no, I don't need that, man.
Yeah, just the silver eyes works greatly.
Yeah, Batman and seasonal themes. I don't know what the next one would be after Christmas, but like I don't think him on Easter makes sense.
St. Patty's Batman.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But I say Poison Ivy during spring for sure. Oh no, we'll see. That's tough.
It is.
That's tough. But all right, ladies and gents, I think it is a good spot to end things. We definitely got to talk about a lot. We definitely got to dive in. Thankfully, it was very fun. Thank you guys. The live chat, you guys have been very, very,
very live,
right? Very engaged, giving your 2 cents as well. We talked all over the place about numerous shit. So we thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you're watching live, playback, please hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw here. We love it. You know, we're a community here. We talk shit, have fun. You know, as we saw, sometimes shit gets real, but we still keep it going. That's just how we are, man. So we thank you guys again. Let us know what you thought about the Batman. If you're watching this on playback, put it in the comment section below. Let us know. We'll definitely try our best to get in there and have a little convo with y'all. Chop it up a little bit. So Logan, where can the people find you and what do you have going on?
Yes, sir. You can find me right here on the Twitter at Logan_Swish. Also on YouTube, Logan Swish. And I mean, I got to be honest. I can't stop thinking about the Batman and wanting to go see it, but it also makes me. It does want to make me
Same.
watch some animated things. So
Oh
maybe
my
we'll jump on
God,
that
y'all!
for,
Look to the
for some
sky,
Patreon
because there
stuff.
might be a
And-
fucking meteor coming.
And see, but that's what's funny is like this weekend, if I have free time, I'm gonna go see the Batman. So it's a problem. But maybe next week or something, like not this weekend, but next
Listen,
weekend.
I hear you, dude. That motherfucker has me walking around the streets like I'm a goddamn badass. So it's okay. I get it.
I cannot get enough of it. I want it. So
Dude, I literally look at my feet and I feel like my boots. I just make them shits clink. I make sounds when I walk. Everything just
yeah.
doing the fucking
Oh,
theme songs going on
okay.
and everything, dude.
Can you give me the idea of watching Young Justice on Patreon? Any thoughts?
As a Patreon, yeah, why not?
Think it would work?
Why not? It's definitely a following for it for sure.
Yeah.
It honestly couldn't hurt. Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
yeah, go for it. Absolutely, or Interstellar with me this weekend.
So that's the thing. He's never seen Interstellar. I now have a list. Oh my god!
Sweet Jesus!
Can I read you his fucking list that he hasn't
Crazy.
seen? This motherfucker pisses me off.
Oh my god! This is why his takes are so crazy.
Watch this shit.
Insane.
Watch this shit.
Oh my god!
He's never seen Whiplash,
I'm afraid.
Straight Outta Compton, Source
Wow.
Code, The Martian, Edge of Tomorrow, Kingsman,
Wow. Okay.
Interstellar, Inception,
What?
Hell or High Water, which I love that movie. I don't know if you love that movie.
I still have not seen that actually.
Please, dear God.
Yeah, I still
10
have
out
not
of
watched
10.
that.
10 out of 10 movie, legitimately. 1917, never seen that.
Jesus Christ.
And
okay.
The Departed, never seen The Departed. And I'm like, and that's just from the ones that I own. And I'm like, well, goddamn, you got to come over every fucking weekend now until we finish this list up.
Christ.
Um,
Yeah, you should be ashamed. Some of those, I'm like, oh, okay. Most of those, I'm like, what the fuck?
like it, I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, buddy.
But
you.
it is funny though, because his mom, he watched Prisoners with his mom.
Mm.
His mom is like kind of a movie person, and she almost named him, like his name is Devin, but she almost named him Maximus for Gladiator, 'cause that's
Wow.
her favorite movie. And he's like, I kind of wish she did.
My name
So-
is Gluteus Maximus Decimus Meridius.
I know he would have a big ass gluteus maximus. That would be, people would have made fun of you for a hot minute, man.
Of course, that's big country. I'm sure.
Well, because what, Devin? How much did you say you weighed in high school? I think he said he weighed like 370.
Jesus.
He was a big motherfucker. He was, I mean, offensive lineman, just fucking massive guy. But like, still, he's like, man, he's like, now he's like, I'm big sexy, you know. But like, I just
370 in high school. Jesus
crazy,
Christ.
man. Isn't that crazy?
What the hell?
I turned that shit around. That's wild, though.
That's Jesus Christ. Well, all right.
Well, okay.
I guess
John, I also got to bring up some shit for you though. If we're ending the show, are we
Okay.
gonna get any content from you anytime soon, sir?
Oh, YouTube bitch.
I've been missing your shit, man. Like, when your TikToks pop up, I can't remember what the one was now but I commented.
Oh,
I
that
was like,
shit. Yeah.
I was like, you fucking got me. Like, you made me bust out laughing. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head now.
the
But
weight loss one. Who was smaller back then?
yeah, we were both, and you're like, bitch. Like, what? But
Yeah, no. Okay, I thought you meant YouTube. No, that shit's
no,
gonna
I
keep
want
going
you.
in.
I want YouTube too, though, man.
Oh,
like,
okay.
what I miss that shit. And it doesn't have to be reactions. It doesn't have to be stuff like that. But like,
I'm trying to figure out where that is.
okay,
Like what?
that's okay. That's all you really have to say, really.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm trying to. I don't know where to go from here. Because I'm not gonna hold you. I've been thinking about it lately, but I'm just like, I don't know.
No, I mean,
don't know.
I only make YouTube videos when I feel like I need to. Like, if it's something that I'm like, I gotta get on camera for this. Like, I'm not about to react to something that I'm not interested in
Right.
and like really want to. So I completely agree.
I think so. I think I'm gonna find out where it is. I think I'm gonna start trying to do more skits and put my social media stuff on there as well.
Yeah.
React to little things if I want to here and there. I'll do shows and shit whenever I get like an editor or something. They can pay somebody because I just can't
No, I hear you.
anymore.
But I will admit,
I
I
don't
do miss your reactions to the big trailers, like the big motherfuckers.
I kind of miss doing those too. Like it's, I don't know. I'm getting there. I'll say that I'm getting
Okay.
there. Back to a better space to be open to be like, okay, YouTube again.
Okay.
Because I do miss the space. I do miss the people. When I'm there again, I have to get over that mindset of who I was as to where and who I am now. With
Sure.
that.
Sure.
So yeah, but I'm getting there. I can say that confidently.
Gotcha.
I'm getting there.
And but just keep doing the TikToks at least, because that.
Oh yeah.
Like, was that a true story, or did you
Yes.
just think, oh my
It's
fuck,
all true. God,
fuck that?
right. I'm starting to take all. I was like, that's funny. Just taking all my true like encounters of shit that happens through the day and just making shit over them. And it's
That's
funny,
what
but
comedians do, you know, and,
Yeah.
and just add a little something to make it even more over the top, and you got a great, short comedic skit right there. It fucking got me, because I was like, because there was part of me, because I know you so well, I'm like, oh, what's this shit? What's he got? And I'm not expecting a goddamn thing, really. And then if I had water in my mouth, I would have completely spit it out all over my phone. It surprised me, got me. And I was like, damn it. Like, that was a funny one.
I fucking hated that shit, dude. I was like, you really fucking said that in front of
Yeah. It's like, oh, thanks.
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, dear God. But yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot more fucking shit.
Got you.
I'm just like, how did that just happen? But yeah, no, I got you. All right. So, you know where to find Logan.
Yes, sir.
And all his shit coming up. So make sure you go show him some love. His link is also in the description of my, videos. So please go hit that subscribe button, show love, Patreon, YouTube, all that good shit.
Thank you,
You
sir.
can find me right up top. On all forms of social media, as he just said, active on TikTok and everything else. So please go show your love there. We'd greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we thank y'all again. It's your boy Knight.
And I'm Logan.
And as always, we'll see y'all in the cave. Peace.
Later, guys. Don't know the difference between Alan Law